Doctor, question that's always bothered me and a lot of people, Mayflower combined with Philadelphia. No-brainer, right? Because this is where the Mayflower landed. Not so. It turns out Columbus actually set foot somewhere down in the West Indies. Little-known fact. How does the name Mayflower get up to the Quaker City?
Well, it wasn't actually Columbus, the Mayflower, as you probably remember, and he did land in Plymouth Rock.
Well, they landed several places because there's the Nina, the Pinta. There are a couple of them. They all landed in different places, but
not really.
Well, I'm not the historian. Let the people in the production booth deal with that one.
You're hypocrites, all of you.
You got a problem with what I'm saying, Larry? Untie your tongue and you come out here and talk, huh? Am I upsetting you, princess?
Jesus hits on me one more time, I'm fucking out of here.
I remembered, you know. I always liked you.
Well, I always liked you.
I always liked you so much.
Oh, Mike, should we get together another time?
No, I'm sorry. It's, you know, I thought we'd have a really terrific time.
It was okay, Mike.
You were such a super lady.
Trailed by 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep that night till the morning came around. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Ran into the devil, baby, loaned me 20 bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. I ran down to the levee, but the devil caught me there. Took my $20 bill and it vanished in the air. I'm running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Got 2 reasons why I cry away each lonely night. The first one's named Sweet Anne Marie, and she's my heart's delight. Second one is prison baby, the sheriff's on my trail. And if he catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, the one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like me. Set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Catches up with me, I'll spend my life in jail. Got a wife in Chino, baby, and one in Cherokee. First one says she got my child, but it don't look like it. I set out running, but I take my time. A friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
Buddy, it's the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
11 years. 11 years since Jerry got cold, Fez.
All right, now that seems way too long. I would have guessed 5 or 6.
Way too long. You've been dead too long, Jerry.
You really have.
You really need to come back. 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. By the way, that's Kathleen from the Bronx, of course, came up with that little nugget. She likes to have little nuggets, little stuff from the calendar for Ron and Fez, because, Earl, you're totally lost on all this.
Jerry dying was easily the worst professional day I ever had in my life.
Is that right?
It wasn't good for him either.
Well, it wasn't good for him, because my radio nightmare at the time was to be involved on the air on the show when Jerry died. I was 30 minutes into a 7-hour shift when we got the news that Jerry died.
So you just start playing a lot of Dead. What's difficult about that?
At the time, NEW was 3 weeks into an alternative rock format.
Oh, so they wouldn't let you do it?
Our boss at the time was just completely busting everyone's balls. It was a no-brainer to everyone else except for him.
Right.
And all the callers were just killing us. Just absolutely killing us for not playing enough Dead.
Hey, Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, thanks a lot, Earl. I appreciate driving through the desert in California. Way to wake me up, bud. Thanks.
There you go. It always works in the desert. I noticed that, too. I do the same thing. If I'm in the desert, I throw in some Dead.
I thought you'd take a little acid, have a little...
You know, let's not, it doesn't have to be all about drugs, Earl. Let's not always take it back to drugs as quick as we can. I saw this little weird piece. Pink Floyd coming to Broadway. The Wall as a Broadway show. Now, for me, none of these things ever work. Whenever they try Tommy on the Broadway and the Beach Boys, I just have no time for it. I don't see the purpose of it other than making money. But, Earl, where's this for you?
They do realize that there's no happy ending to this story.
Oh, so no one's going to go home all feeling good about themselves.
The Wall is not a feel-good story. How are they going to possibly make this upbeat and cheery is beyond me.
Dave, what about for you?
That's going to be a major hit. The Wall's conquered every medium. Why not Broadway now?
Well, because you're not going to be dealing with Pink Floyd. You're going to have Broadway actors.
Broadway actors getting their line.
I don't know whether you've ever been to any of those shows, but some kids, Tommy doesn't know what day it is. And you're like, what the fuck am I looking at?
I've been to Lion King, and the spectacle of Broadway fits in with the Wall.
So that's what you like. You see it more as a visual thing than about the music.
Yeah, I mean, and why not modernize Broadway? Get some lasers going, get some flying, shit going on.
Yeah, they've had all that. You know what I mean? They've already done that gimmick where it's basically the planetarium, the laser show at the planetarium. Here's another weird one: Bob Dylan songs with dancers and choreographed by what's her name? Twyla Tharp.
I think it's Twyla Tharp. Yes.
Now, Earl, does that work for you at all?
Again, it depends on which songs.
How do you dance to Dylan?
Yeah.
How do you fucking pull that off?
I mean, unless you could find, I don't know, I could find something danceable, let's say a song like Mozambique or something, but I don't see, pirouettes to Blowing in the Wind.
I don't understand why you want to sit there and watch fucking kids dance around to music. The whole Billy Joel gimmick does this.
That was a big hit, though, that Billy Joel thing.
Well, who cares if it's a big hit or not with old ladies who come in on buses?
Floyd fans care. We want as much success as possible for Roger Waters.
This thing's going to die right there, opening night.
You wanted to have Roger Waters successful, get him back with the band.
He was back for one night of glory.
Yeah.
It was called Live 8, and it was the best night of my fucking life.
Did you see how everybody else stared at him?
David Gilmour is such a prick.
He was glaring at the fucking guy.
Let the grudge go.
Just glaring at him.
It looked like the first Thanksgiving dinner after the divorce became final and everyone gets together. It was just so uncomfortable to watch.
If I would have brought him out, I would have said, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest band up until '79, and now they haven't done one interesting thing, Pink Floyd.
It almost seemed like Roger Waters didn't know that the others were mad at him because he was just smiling.
Yeah, I know. He was like, it's great to be back.
I felt so bad for him.
After we had our last little fight where you were ranting about the greatest double album of all time, The Wall, I went back, re-listened. It's a great fucking album.
It is, right. And Earl is like, there's a lot of misses on that album.
Yeah, it's a great album. It really is.
Not one sub-average song on that album. Not one.
I know the film version. It's the one movie that I ever walked out on.
Now, why?
Oh, you don't like Pink Floyd?
Yeah, I guess not.
What do you mean you guess not? Either you do or you don't.
No, I don't.
So, that would happen. You probably would have walked out on the concert.
But they're going to have to, really tweak this thing because a musical should be vibrant and upbeat and this and that.
I tell you, every time I've ever been to a musical, I've been depressed. You know, the only time I like it, if there's some reason that people get sad and they start crying, and I'll start crying about sitting there for so long. I just find it to be a nightmare.
I don't think the musical is probably going to be able to pull off when Pink turns into a giant larva in the back of a limo. That scene will be difficult to recreate.
If I could tell you how many times at Christmas Fez has given me and my chick fucking musical tickets, and I'm just like, yeah, it's great.
Enjoy.
We're on our way to fucking Cabaret with Brooke Shields. And it's just so difficult. And, you know, all the ones that people like Rent, it's just a very difficult night for me. It feels like there's been a cave-in of some
It's
type.
fake. It's the only thing about the musicals it's fake. Someone's supposed to be upset. They wouldn't be singing about it.
No, they sing. They all sing the same way. They you know, there's only one voice to any of these things, and it's just, you know, the nice clean kid from school is singing.
It's talking singing is what it is, where you're not really singing, you're just talking your way through a song.
Right, and you wouldn't be happy about, I'm getting kicked out because I can't pay rent. You know, you wouldn't be singing about that.
Will you two stop it, please? I'm going to ask both of you to stop singing Broadway. Chris, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dude, this Floyd show is going to rule. Dave, I'm with you 100%.
That's right, Chris.
Floyd rules. There's no better band in the world than Floyd. I saw Gilmore in New York City.
Great show.
2 or 3 months ago. Every day I listen to your show hoping Dave's going to talk about Floyd.
Chris.
You know what? Here's the problem you have. If you make it to being an adult and saying someone rules, that is... It's got to stop. It just has to stop. Now, the Big Poison show was last night, and a little bit of controversy yesterday because Earl had problems. But by the end of the show, you got everything straightened out. You got Mikey D and his family tickets, and you got him back to meet the band. I just got a one-line email last night that said, thanks for the tickets. Helen didn't go. She felt sick.
Wow. Oh, okay.
So his chick did not go. She didn't feel well. So I guess it was just Mikey and Lene. Did you hear if they went backstage or anything, Earl?
No, I haven't heard. I got that same email.
Yeah.
And my initial reaction, I said, no, just let it go.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Here's one more dab of guilt from Mikey D that I can try to spread on this thing.
What's the dab of guilt?
Oh, Helen didn't go. She was sick.
And it sounded
What do you think? The show made her sick? Is that your point?
I think, no, his point is that everything he went through yesterday with Earl just had her is so upset.
That's what I meant. When I said the show, I meant us.
Oh, yeah.
You think the point of that was what happened on the show yesterday made his wife sick?
Yes, upset her so much that she couldn't possibly travel to Jones Beach.
No, see, I think you read more into that.
No, Fez is 100% right.
I know.
He is the king of insinuations.
Let me guess, fucking Earl's going to jump in. The three of you again, the beatdown begins.
I am not saying a word. I'm letting it go.
Now, I got a email from Greg from Buffalo who said that Mikey D now is Iron Mikey D Sharp because it's been so long since he's had a win on the show. And when I thought about it, it was pre-Wonder Boy since he's had a win on the show.
Oh, yeah. Just a few years ago, we did the St. Pat Spat, a boxing match that Ronnie's talking about, where he got his ass handed to him in a boxing match against our producer, Wonder Boy.
Yeah, so it's been a long, long time since he's pulled out a victory for himself. But at least, Earl, the show went good. You got him in there. I guess he met the band with the baby, and they all have fun, and we're all pals again, and we're all back to square one.
I don't think we're back to square one.
Screw him.
I'm back to square one. Earl, you?
I honored my commitment. That's all I'm going to say.
That's as close as he's coming to square one. I don't think he's at square one.
I'm not going as close as Earl is.
I think I'm
pissed.
I'm multiplied. I'm multiplied by 5.
Well,
I'm not going to
you
square
were
one.
looking for this. You were looking for a reason because you were bringing up stuff from the past.
Right. Well, I still would like my puppet Jivey back, but I'm also defending Earl. And just saying, look, Mikey's wrong. He's always
That's the only good thing that came out of this is that you and Earl were on the same side.
We're on
and
team.
Fez, too. You were all like a team together.
And this team is not dissipating.
Yeah.
Me and Earl are going to be on a team.
Here's what you guys need to do. Sing Broadway about it. Why don't the three of you get together, start to sing Broadway stuff. Here is Anthony. Anthony, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. How you doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Dave's completely wrong. It's double album of all time, the White Album by the Beatles. It's not even close.
All right.
It's very close because I'm a hardcore Beatles fan. Hardcore.
All right, so what do you pick?
White Album. No, sorry. Fuck, no, sorry. That was a slip of the tongue.
So after
no, they
screaming about rules.
Hold it. They both start with W. I meant to say The Wall.
It's official. I'm sorry.
I heard White Album, and I'm going to go with it.
It's on the public record.
Yeah.
No.
It's the Hanging Chad.
I meant to say The Wall. Thank you. Done and done.
Hi, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, man?
Hey, buddies. 276 checking in.
Hey, buddy.
Hooah! You know, Ronnie, I did what you did. After Dave went on about it, I went back and re-listened to The Wall, and it is really good.
Yeah, it is.
But I also re-listened to Quadrophenia.
Great album.
And you know what? Quadrophenia really stands up, and it is kind of a better product, I think.
I will say this, Quadrophenia was a better movie. If you're going to throw it to the musicals being put to a movie, much better.
But there's really no bad songs on that album.
Oh, it's great.
Even the instrumentals are really great. But you can't really say the same thing about The Wall.
No,
you can't say that.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
I love you, Dave. But I got to stand by it.
All right, peace out. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Well, you are happy. You don't feel like it's a sellout that The Wall is going to Broadway. You don't see this as some way of watering down the music.
I just feel like it's another chance for Roger Waters to conquer America, like he's done so many times before.
But then it's already conquered. I mean, if you're not familiar with this, it's one of the biggest selling albums of all time.
But this is...
Do you really need 12 gay kids to sing it to you in a theater for $148?
This is his one chance to give it to the elderly, to older people see musicals.
Well, when the movie came out, they were young. Now they are. When the album came out,
the next stop will be dogs barking the songs out.
That was Animals, Fez. They've already done that one. It was also a nice success, and I'm a fan of that album as well. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the VCR called Pink Floyd Live in Berlin?
Yes, I did. It wasn't the greatest thing I've seen.
It's got the Scorpions and Thomas Dolby.
I know,
and
I'm familiar
Cyndi
with it.
Lauper
There was
and
a
the
lot
band.
of 80s acts. Roger Waters invited 80s bands to perform The Wall
Right.
on stage, like he mentioned Scorpions.
The Van Morrison thing is great, though.
Yeah.
Check it out and see if you can find that in a secondhand record shop someplace called Live in Berlin, but it's the whole Wall done live in Berlin.
He just told you, Dan, he's seen it and he hates it.
That's the only Floyd project that I'm not 100% behind, but everything else I am.
Failure? Put it down as a failure?
It's just a little cheap. I can't get around Scorpions.
Okay, if you think that's cheesy, where do you see some fucking guy in a dance belt singing Mother? It's going to be embarrassing.
Well, we don't know who those actors are, though.
They're fucking no-names.
That's the point.
Mother, do you think they'll drop the bomb? It's going to be a fucking cringe fest.
No, because I'll feel like I'm watching the Pink perform on stage. The actual character. I'll feel like it as opposed to the Scorpions.
All right.
See what I mean?
Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, 32 years ago, Nixon resigned. Maybe we can get Bush to do the same, huh?
I'm all for it, brother.
All right.
I'm all for it. Was that today? Are we on an anniversary day on that, too?
Yeah, that's an anniversary of today. Yeah, that happened today.
Where are you on this day in history, Earl?
I'm still with Jerry.
The day
and you wouldn't even have known that if not from Kathleen from the Bronx.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I was always not a big fan of in this date in history. The slaves were.
You hated Nick.
Wait, hold on. I wanted you to finish that. The slaves are what? Happy?
The Supreme Court ruled that slaves are 3/4 of a human being or something like that. I just never
what
was
was
into
that ruling?
That was an actual ruling. They were considered 3/5 of a human being.
Douglas versus North Carolina.
Hey, Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, are you talking to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Michelle. Okay.
How are you boys today?
All right, darling.
Hey, look, I love you guys to death. You're really the only talk show I listen to, but please, for the love of God, no more Mikey D. I'm so sick of hearing about Mikey D. To me, he sounds like a spoiled little brat. You guys did all you could, and what do you get? One line, thank you.
Well,
so, no more Mikey D, please.
All right, Michelle.
Thank you.
Take it easy, Mikey.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm all for that, Michelle.
I always love when people call up and they say what they don't want on the show, but they're bringing it back up. Like when people go, I don't want to hear Dave again, then that makes Dave come into the room. When you add a negative, it's still there. It's still popped up.
It's bad publicity. is some kind of publicity.
What are you talking about?
That's
you
the
crazy
phrase that
bastard?
you're...
That makes no sense.
Well, I'm summarizing what you're trying to what you are saying. But
I don't need anyone ever to do that for me. I never need that in my life.
I'm just
maybe someday I'll go to Sirius and I'll have a large black woman agreeing with everything I say. But up until that point, I'm fine with this.
Earl, are you available?
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Odd day yesterday after the show. Polo did bring in his wife, and after all these years, it's been like 15 years, we got to meet Gail O. We taped about an hour with her. It was rambling. It was incredibly bad. Earl's going to go through it and try to find some of the better pieces, so maybe we'll put it on sometime this week, or maybe just on the weekend replay. Oh, no, I don't think it was decent radio, but it was just so weird for us. I don't think that we could get out of it.
It was arguably the most bizarre thing because she just was just gone. I mean, she was just so, like, rambling, but she wasn't all there.
It reminded me of a Tales from the Crypt when somebody doesn't know they're dead. You know what I mean? It was like a zombie woman. She had on a crazy gown. The hair was all thinned out like a chicken head.
It took her about half an hour to come out of the bathroom in the first place.
Cuts all over her arm that you could tell the healing process was very bad. Like, it looked like it took forever for her blood to kind of clot back up again. It was hideous.
She was like some sort of silent screen star that had come in here to try to make a comeback.
Baby Jane is where you're going with that. That's the angle.
And then, like, when her and Paulo would just, like, argue and fight, it was like a really retarded version of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. It was just so
it was.
cringy.
And I'll tell you, we were all afraid of Virginia Woolf. She was absolutely frightening.
She was her eyes were piercing and very bloodshot. It was
yeah, they were just red. But literally red, like dog-like eyes.
And then didn't Paul, like, literally, like, drag her in here? Just,
he did.
She had no
and they had
feeling
been
in her
fighting
feet.
in the hall. She was trying to primp herself up. She went out and bought some crazy gown. It was just insane. It was absolutely insane.
And after the show, she was pretty nice to me, at least. Then I had to call Paulo and Gail at the restaurant to see, about the shooting the scene. And she tears into me on the phone saying, "Don't you realize we're in dinner? Don't you realize we're trying to have steaks with steak sauce on it? Don't call here again." And she hangs up on me, and then Paul calls back and says, "Gail would like to apologize. She didn't realize she was talking to the redheaded man after the show that she had met." And she's like, "I can't apologize enough, Dave, for what I said."
It's just frightening the way the moods change from anger to tears to that cackling laughter.
And then he came back here, I would say around 7 o'clock, to drop off the soundtrack to some of the music from the movie. And he had her propped up against the wall at the very front door of where we come in. He had her propped up, and she's just sliding along the wall because she just has no movement in her legs anymore.
If Paulo dies and goes to hell, he is not going to know the difference. It will be the same existence that he has now. It cannot get worse than what his life is like. It's just too bizarre.
She literally is a ball and chain, where he has to carry around a dead weight, drag it behind him if he wants to go anywhere with her.
Paul, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, it's me.
Yeah.
Wanted to bring up with Dave, wondering if you've ever seen any live bootleg videos of the actual Wall Tour live.
I'm dying to see that.
The London shows. I have two of them. Now, they're bootleg copies. They're clearly different shows, but incredible stuff, man.
Thanks, my Floyd brother.
Yeah, I can get a copy to you if you want. The other thing I wanted to ask Ron was what he'd think about getting a Joe's Garage cast together on Broadway.
All right, hold on. Just hold on. Give him the address to send his little bootleg thing to Floydy.
Thanks, Floyd brother.
Is that what you guys call each other?
Either that or Pinkos.
Oh, well. Here's Ron. Ron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Mikey D, I think he did have one win. When he went to Dave's house and shook his doorknob.
No. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if I put that over as a victory.
Unless breaking an entry is a victory.
Yeah,
then
normally it is.
Great. I don't.
If you can get
agree with
in.
that. No, I don't think see crimes as victories. So I'm gonna put that in the loss column.
I got this email. I'll throw it out there. People said this. What would you rather live without? Because we're talking about music today. Music or TV? You could only have one rest of your life. One of them you give up rest of your life. Earl, we'll start with you. Where are you on this?
I would give up my TV.
TV forever.
I cannot live without music.
It would be difficult.
It would be extraordinarily difficult.
What do you say, Dave?
This would be a tough choice. I'd have to give up music.
No music for you.
I need to watch, like, Three's Company and Golden. I need to watch shows, game shows. Music.
Yes, I understand the TV shows.
There's more of a variety with television.
I'm very fucking familiar with TV.
Okay.
You've made your bet, but you don't have to explain the magic of television. I grew up in the United States of America.
Okay.
I've had one in my living room since I was born.
Oh, all right.
Fezzy?
I would give up the music. I would have to have the TV.
I think you've already given up music.
Yeah, it really, if someone like told me you've given up music for the past 2 weeks, I probably wouldn't have noticed.
All right, now remember, anytime anyone starts to play any music on TV, you got to quick turn it down.
Wait, you didn't say that.
You got to go without soundtrack.
So
No American Idol.
Yeah.
What about the theme songs to television shows?
No, you start right as the show starts.
So I can't hear the Cheers
You've
theme
given
song.
up fucking music, right?
Right.
Thank you.
That's
See, this is why you got to be careful. When you make a deal with the devil like that, you've got to be very, very careful.
Let me ask you one quick question.
Yeah.
At the end, like on the final scene, say, of The Contender, they're boxing, and you hear a soundtrack of music.
Boom, that soundtrack is pulled down. It will be pulled down. Now, see, here's the thing. If you have music, you're still going to have movies. No one said they're taking movies away from you.
Right.
And you got the computer, so all the news is on there now. I have no problem giving up TV. I don't even watch that much TV now. I have hate for it. Tonight, Fez, you're watching Project Runway?
Yeah, Project Runway.
I will not be watching.
What?
You know that. You know I've given it up. Last week when they booted Keith, it was the highest rated show in the history of Bravo.
Nice. They had plugged that someone was getting sent home, not through, regular elimination, but that somebody was getting kicked off the show, and it was Keith for having sewing books.
Jeremy, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy boys.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I'd have to give up music. I mean, you always have movies. You have that kind of entertainment, and I got my talk radio to listen to all day. So what else do I
what a
need?
nightmare, sitting there listening to talk radio. I'd rather shoot myself in the eye. Just yap, people fucking going on, talking. How can you listen to that shit?
And if you give up movies, music, you're going to have to stop listening to the movie score. You're going to have to shut yourself out. You're going to have to... Everything has music in it.
You've given up music. You cannot listen to music anymore.
You said no music on TV, but you didn't say no music on movies.
You've given up music, period.
Forever.
Yes.
Can I even sing?
No. You've given up music.
Wait, I can't whistle?
No, that's music, is it not?
It's all music. It's church hymns. It's everything.
Well, who's going to hear that? You've given up music.
No one will sing happy birthday to you ever again.
Well, this is rough, but I'm going to do it.
Good. I hope you can.
I have to see Hell's Kitchen. What do you want me to do?
Oh, by the way, Hell's Kitchen, when Kay Greasy got booted last week. Where are we on that, Fez?
We are down to the finals. We got Virginia versus Heather.
I mean, where are you? Were you shocked by that? Were you...
No, because Fox frickin' ruins everything. As their show, you know how on Monday nights at 8 o'clock they'll show last week's episode leading into the new episode.
Yeah.
So all through that, they're showing commercials that I hear, a shocking elimination on a new episode of Hell's Kitchen. So I automatically knew it wasn't Virginia because she was the obvious choice to get sent home this week.
This was the funny thing. So he says to her, we all know you got a hard-on for Virginia. What a fucking idiot this kid is. Yelling out hard-on fucking TV.
Why did you have to be so rude?
Here's Brian. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. What's up?
Yeah.
Hey, first thing, I can't go to sleep without the TV on, so I couldn't give up TV. And I got a question. Was Galo ever normal.
No.
I mean, what made Polo marry her? I mean, if she's a whack job, why would you marry somebody?
Supposedly, she told Polo she was dying of cancer, so he married her, and then later found out that was just a funny little trick that she was playing. So, ladies, that's a great way to get somebody to marry you if you happen to be a maniac. And then now they've been punching each other for 29 years. 29 years of two people attempting to scratch each other's eyes out. She had the balls of sitting here. He abuses me. I get abused by him.
Like we've never heard her on this show at all.
Joey, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, me?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I could have swore I saw Paul O on Channel 2 News this morning.
Doing what?
I don't know. I just caught the end of it. I see this guy. Does he have a gray beard?
No, he's not sporting a beard now, is he? Did he have the crazy mustache?
Yeah, no,
he had a mustache.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe it was
He had some stubble. He had some stubble.
Alrighty, because I caught the very last end of it, and they said he's making a movie. It's supposed to be a cross between Saw and The Godfather 2. And that's what he said in the movie. It's like, right?
No, that was from Sopranos. Hey, Earl, you just got an email from Mikey D. He got the tickets. He said he never got the backstage passes.
I guess another set of calls will have to be made because that
So
was...
you did fuck up overall?
Yes, to a degree. To a degree, yes.
You told me that you have backstage passes for him.
Again, I was given that assurance that everything was taken care of.
I'm going to tell you right now, never will call me, ever. I want fucking hard tickets in my hand before I'll ever leave my house. I'll never fucking show up at these places and hope that the record guys bring something around.
But again, I mean, at one point, I think I called you at one point to tell you that. It's like everything was taken care of.
Is it?
No.
Did he have his backstage passes?
No, but... I mean, again...
What's that fucking record company?
No, it wasn't their... It was their PR... It was their publicist and their management.
Well, you got to fucking call them and tell them that we hate them.
Yes, I'll make that call.
And say, this is the last fucking call you'll ever get. If I see you fucking kissing up again, Earl, I'm going to be pissed.
No, I mean, again, I'm as upset as anybody. Because
no, you're not. You're not as upset as me. I can fucking tell you right now, you're not as upset as me. And for you and Fez and Dave all to sit here feeling superior today, you're all fucking wrong, because this thing turned into a fucking nightmare for this guy. Turned into a nightmare. Ken, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, boys?
Yeah.
You got to give up TV. There's no TV show out there that the second you see it brings back memories or puts you in a certain mood from when you were younger.
What about Wonder Years? I think that works for everybody. Of course, it's because of the music.
The show,
yeah.
But you try to watch it again, you're gonna, you realize it was kind of a kid's show.
Yeah, it's true.
You can't watch it again as an adult. And like music, you got a certain song that, first time you got laid, you got different mood for every different, piece of music out there.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Music is the thing that anchors all that stuff. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I would choose to eliminate music, and also Michael Kors is back on tonight.
I won't know that because I've given up on the show. Tim Gunn is going to be doing the runway for the Emmys, I think, for NBC.
Oh, okay. Emmys coming up at the end of this month.
Here's Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I love music, but you can't jack to a tune. I got to have my porno.
A porno is not a fucking TV show, you maniac. That's a movie.
But he's right.
You're still fined for it.
You need Telemundo to jack. You definitely need television for jackability, and you're not going to spank it to a Creedence Clearwater song.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you get a mirror? I guarantee you'll never jack again. If you fucking see what you look like, you look like a dolphin with a heart on.
I have to say that doesn't work because a couple times, I put a full-length mirror at the end of my bed to actually see what me jacking looks like.
So you can see your asshole while you were doing it?
It was pretty weird.
Sick bastard. That seems to me like only a chick can get away with doing that. No fucking guy can sit there and enjoy that process. Look at Earl. You got your head down. You ought to have your fucking head down. You caused me a nightmare this whole week. The three of you guys, I want you to go out and buy something nice for Mikey D.
I am not buying anything for Mikey D.
You all jumped on him, and you're all wrong. You were all 100% wrong.
I don't think I was wrong.
I'm not wrong.
About Mikey D and him being ungrateful.
Ungrateful for what? For having a fucking nightmare time. He couldn't take his wife and he didn't get backstage.
I've never gotten backstage. Who gets backstage passes? You saw a great show for free. Suck it up.
And he couldn't take his wife. Here's Bundy. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, you already got me. Hey, buddy!
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, there's no porn on the radio.
Oh, fuck these callers.
There's no porn on TV either.
HBO late at night.
That's porn to you? That fucking Cinemax shit? That's hideous.
No, some of their shows, like Real Sex, Cyber.
Oh, my God, Real Sex. People, the only women you don't want to have sex with. Those fucking hippie mountain women that look like they got a goddamn cat on their lap.
I've also spanked it to Tax Gap Confessions.
Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
At first I thought this was easy. Give up no TV, no problem. But that means you can't go to Hooters and watch your Buck games, Fez.
Oh, I'd love to skip Hooters this year. I'd love to skip Hooters.
We got to be there for the Buccaneer games.
No sports. He's got it right.
That's the first fucking point that actually hurt. The no sports. Although I will be listening to baseball on the radio.
With the barbecue.
Here's Ryan. Ryan, you're on Ron and Fez. Whoops, let me try again. Hey, Ryan, you're on the air.
Hey, buddy, this is Ryan.
Yes, that's why I said your name.
All right. I was wondering why the Wonder Years never made it onto DVD.
You know, maybe it's because it was a little too early for that. I don't know how that all works out, the DVD TV shows.
No, you could, because Cheers is on DVD. I just think, retrospectively, if you look at it, it had the first 3 years of Wonder Years is good, but went downhill quick.
I only really liked the opening song, and then I hated the rest of it.
It's the same reason why 90210 never made it, because they have to license all the music out, and it would take it's too long of a process, and they would have to pay everybody out for all the music.
So really it's about music more than anything else?
Yeah.
Interesting. Pitsy, by the way, I understand you missed a beautiful shoot.
I spoke to Polo last night, and Gail got on the phone cursing and screaming at me.
What did she say?
She was like, you fucking ruined it, blah, 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 where the fuck were you? But I don't know if she knew it was me or not.
She probably thought it was me.
You know, I only want to talk to her on the phone now. I want nothing to do with Polo. I only want to do interviews and talk movies. Look at Earl. His head's down. He cannot see straight. He thought he was a winner, and he came up a loser.
I can't even see him from here now. He's down so low.
You just destroyed Earl?
No, it's just like, when does it end? Does it ever really end?
You know when it ends? When you do a job well done. Job well done, Earl, and then it ends.
No, but that's the thing, though. Again, I did everything within my power to make this happen.
Did you make sure he got in last night and backstage? Because I would have. I would have been on the fucking phone with the guy saying, is he going backstage right now? Because not even for Mikey and Lene, but just to prove a point, because you got called out. I would have not been able to sleep until I knew I was right.
No, I mean, and again, those calls were made. I remember at one point I even called you. It was like, hey, you know what? We took care of it. Everything's fine.
But it wasn't.
But it wasn't fine.
You quit before you were done. You NEW Earled it. That's it. That's where you were.
An angry call will be made.
What does that do, though, Earl? Last night should have been the angry call. While he was there, while the band was still there. Because we put fucking Bret Michaels on this fucking show, yapping about fucking 15 years ago he had a hit. We had to sit and listen to that fucking drone on and on. About how every time he's going to shoot himself in the ankle with a goddamn thing to make his sugar or diabetes go away.
Then again, the calls will be made.
What good's that, Earl? It's no fucking good. Doesn't make you right. You're still wrong. And you were wrong yesterday while everybody was beating up on Mikey D. Now, if you would have came off with it, then you three guys are right, and everybody's going to be on your fucking side. But he didn't get in. Everything he said about this thing not being done correct was true. Here's, let me see. Let me go to Jake. Jake, you're on Ron and Fez. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I was wondering, how can you watch TV without music, man? You got to have music, because every TV, every movie is all based on on the music in the background. I mean, even your fucking porno, you need music.
Exactly. You will be watching dry TV from that point on. You will not hear any music in the background.
Much of reality TV is dry to me.
That's bullshit. It has music in the background.
Well, I don't think of it, the music at all.
That's because you're not paying attention to it, and that means that it's working. But, you know, and you won't have that suspense in movies anymore. There's not going to be any soundtrack.
All right,
you will be out of it.
I watch game shows mostly anyway, and do I need music for
yes.
For Price is Right?
Yes.
Why?
Listen to the music on Deal or No Deal, if you're still willing to make that deal.
Here's the tension. Da-na-na. You're not going to have that. What? You're just going to go, there's no tension here whatsoever. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Dave's an idiot. You can give up TV. You can get anything you need to watch for your computer. You give up the TV, you've got to have music.
I don't like watching stuff on the computer. It's grainy, and I like watching stuff live.
Let me. Okay, you can't watch live on the computer. And my friend, it's 2006. What is going to get better?
Computer graphics.
Yeah, computer graphics.
But does that mean that you're going to be able to watch Sopranos live on the computer? I think not, Ron.
I don't know. We don't know at this point. At this time, we don't know.
I'll just watch. I need TV just for The Sopranos alone.
Okay, you're going to keep your TV.
Fine.
No one's gonna, and why you're the last Sopranos fan in America? I'm glad to say it. You're still waving that fucking banner.
You just won't hear any music as a wax getting ready to happen.
Jeremiah, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, can you guys let the Mikey D shit go?
Well, we're going to talk about it for the next 2 hours, so why don't you turn off your radio and sit there and wait, okay?
I think I'm going to have to, because, I mean, I love you guys' show, but the shit with Earl and Mikey D and Dave...
Jeremiah doesn't care. We don't care whether you love us or not. Turn off your fucking radio and think of us as old girlfriends, all right?
Yeah.
Let me hear you turn it off before you hang up. I want to hear the radio turn off. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. We had great times together. You see what you did now, Earl?
Didn't mean to. No, I didn't mean to, but...
We cannot hear you anymore, Earl.
I'm right here.
Now you got Fezzy mad.
Oh, that's... Unless
you guys were all shoulder to shoulder yesterday. The three musketeers are all on the same side. I don't hear any good. Where's Dave now? Saying Earl's a saint.
I still have his back. I still have your back. I still do.
Even though Mikey didn't get in, that doesn't bother you at all. Doesn't make you feel like maybe Mikey had a point.
One thing I'm slightly irked, but that doesn't mean that me and Earl aren't best buddies. Is sometimes maybe just don't promise them all that stuff. Like don't promise them backstage
when you know you're not going to do it.
Well, for the record, I never did. He only assumed it.
I believe
bullshit.
Earl. I believe Earl.
Now that I don't believe.
See, one thing, you guys don't ever have to hear this. How many times Earl says to me, what do you think? Jack Nicholson on the show? Would that be okay? I go, Earl, why even call me at home? Yes. Yes, I would love it. And B, it's not ever going to happen.
Just say you have tickets, maybe. And
Ron, would you ever want the Stones in here doing an acoustic set? Call me back. Let me know.
My thing today is I still agree with what I said yesterday. I think Mikey D's ungrateful, and I think he ought to be glad for whatever he got from Earl, no matter what it was. What gets me today is that Earl won't call out a record company or a promotional company that screwed him over and us. That's where I turn. That's where I start to turn back.
Nice to have you back over here, Fez, where you belong. Staring down the barrel.
I'm willing to stick behind Earl and back him up. But when he does something like that,
you weren't backing Earl up because you know he was wrong. You were just against Mikey D again. That was the point. It wasn't Earl's doing well. It's that you're still mad at Mikey over not cutting you any slack because you don't remember birthdays. That's what this is about.
I remember the important ones.
You forgot Jesus' birthday last year. You tried to come up with something on the 27th. Brian, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Brian.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave up TV about a year ago and bought a laptop. I haven't even missed TV.
Thank you.
At all.
I disagree, sir. You miss it.
No, not.
The man who told you he doesn't miss it.
Anything I want to watch, I just download it, watch it. That's it. I don't have to sit around and watch TV. Like I said about a year ago, I became an over-the-road driver.
You can watch you can watch The Contender on ESPN on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock. You can watch that.
I watch it. I can watch it any fucking time I want. I go there and download it and watch it.
He'll say before you.
You're going to see Contender before me?
Yeah, I watched Superman Returns yesterday from my truck. Didn't even have to go to the movie theater.
Well, what you're doing is illegal. And no, seriously.
Wait a minute.
Pitts, get his phone number, Pitts.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not going to let this guy
hold on,
make
Davey Bootleg. I just heard you fucking say you were getting a Pink Floyd thing sent to you.
That's different. That's a totally different animal.
I gave up TV last November during that National Families Give Up TV Week.
Why?
It was just to see if I could do it.
Are you a family?
No.
Then why do it?
I'm a single-person family.
Why join in?
And it was awful. I barely made it through the week. I did end up reading a book.
Every day, Fez calls me before the show, so we check in. And every day, he brings up Tom Cruise's baby. And I go like this. Why do you give a fuck about Tom? Every day I have to say to him, we're not going to sit around and talk about Tom Cruise's baby on the air. Why is this of interest to you?
Now they've driven me insane with not showing this baby. And I know when we see the pictures, in fact, the pictures are supposedly shot by Annie Leibovitz, and they're going to be out in the fall in Vanity Fair. That's the latest update. And I know it's just going to look like another baby. But to me, they're driving me nuts by not showing me this thing.
They're not driving you nuts. The fact that they're driving the paparazzi nuts is driving you nuts. Because you see yourself, you're not standing shoulder to shoulder with Earl. You're standing shoulder to shoulder with Entertainment Tonight and all those stupid shows.
I'm just thinking Tom Cruise did something to this thing in womb when he was doing his own sonograms, and they don't want to show the defects.
Johnny Cake, Ron and Fez.
Hey, boys, I missed Toe Tappy Fez.
Well, you won't have long to last. I've heard it twice go off today.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Dave, I got the Windows Media Center edition.
Yes.
And I can record anything I want. It's free DVR. It's like TiVo. And you just watch TV, record it, rewind it, fast forward it.
Not every channel, though.
Every channel.
No. You can't.
I gave my
Wait,
TV
the man's telling you can.
You can watch Deadwood on this device?
I can watch Deadwood.
Well, you can walk out on Deadwood like you would if you're watching HBO. No one can watch an entire episode.
You can watch the entire episode, and I can record it and watch it whenever I want. I gave my TV away 6 months ago. Punch it out.
I don't want to have to, when I'm watching television, have a mouse in my hand to hit the space bar.
By that, you mean your dick?
That's friendly.
No, I'm talking the computer mouse, hitting keys. Why should I like a good old-fashioned remote control? Am I wrong on this one?
Yeah, there's not much difference between a mouse and a remote control. I don't even see the difference at all. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm on Fez's side on this whole Mikey D deal. He sounds like he's a cheapo Jew, and I feel like Hezbollah building a rocket.
All right, thank you very much, because that is what this comes back to. Dave, Fez, and Earl, anti-Semitic, and I am not going to sit here and listen to it.
Why are we anti-Semitic?
I think probably the way you were raised, something to do with your parents. You probably heard it there at an early age.
Mikey D's not even Jewish.
Yeah, but you were using that word yesterday when you were acting like he was cheap.
Mikey D does seem very greedy.
Thank you for being honest. I will make you the spokesman now for Team Watley. Gene, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, how's it going? 1369.
Hoo-ah!
I just wanted to say, Mikey D, he's a douche. When he got tickets, he was pissing and moaning about it. But Earl's the weakest fuck in the world. As usual, he didn't do his job. He gave the man his word, and then he showed everybody how he had a stroke.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. What's your name? Gene? John? Gene.
What's this fucking thing you're acting like you don't understand?
He's pronouncing it French.
No, because somehow that's a crazy name.
No, but it was spelled like Gene.
What's the difference?
I'm sorry. But
you no-stroke, weak motherfucker?
Wait a minute. Wait, how much more assurance can you get?
Get the fucker inside.
Ron told you yesterday, just buy the fucking tickets. That's all the assurance you would have needed.
Yes, and I even made
and you didn't do that.
And I made that.
You told him to go buy his own ticket and we would reimburse. That's different. So his wife didn't go.
Ronnie, he ain't keeping his word, Ronnie. You can't have somebody like that on your team.
I understand that.
It's not right.
This would have been a victory for Team Watley, but like idiots, those two followed him right down the rat hole. So now there's 3 rats down in that hole.
I mean,
and me and Pitsy are out here in the sunshine, feeling like successes.
How did Pitsy get in the sunlight?
Because he wasn't here yesterday. He did the smart thing. He didn't. Look, Earl just hit Pitsy for clapping. Earl, I want you to call up Poison's people and fucking say, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I'll fucking get even with all you fuckers. I'm Earl Douglas, goddammit.
You could tell them their career's over, but why be redundant?
And then I want the 3 of you to pitch in and send something nice to Mikey D.
I am not pitching in. There is no way.
No. And Lene.
No.
Fuck no. No way.
I'm thinking Fruit Basket.
That'll spoil anyway in this heat. But no, I'm not going to do anything.
It's beautiful outside. I don't know if you've been outside lately, Whitey, but it's gorgeous weather out there. You've got it in your mind that the heat wave's on.
Well, until it gets down to the high 60s, it'll be too hot for me.
Fez, I know he's your boy, but I got to tell you something. Since 11:02, this fucker's been annoying me. I don't want to go off.
Right.
But his rebuttals are retarded.
Your rebuttals have to stay on topic, not I prefer the high to mid-60s.
Oh, look at these two. We're breaking up now. I'm getting the whole team. I see
he just did Divide and Conquer.
Season 6 is dividing off. I'm going to have James on one side, Janelle on the other. Tell him, Fez. He don't know what the fuck he's doing. Here's Steve. Steve, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I thought about giving up old Earl there, the big gorilla. Out.
Did he just call you the big gorilla?
Yeah, that hick just called
me
the
big
gorilla.
This.
White people are so scared of black people.
Cindy Adams called Barbara Streisand a big gorilla today in the New York Post.
For what?
Made me chuckle. She apparently he's gained a lot of weight.
Really?
Yeah.
So now she's a big gorilla?
Cindy Adams hates her. She's charging like $750 a ticket.
They're well worth it if she's going to do memories.
Yeah. This is a very bizarre
Memories. You got to remember, when she jacks her prices up, it only affects the gays.
Well, and whatever the reason, tickets are going for quite expensive.
Yes, I'm sure amyl nitrate is up at fucking price either. Doesn't affect my life. I'm not getting banged in the ass.
She's not selling out. She's not selling out, though. That's the problem.
What do you fucking care? What if she brings Tom Cruise's baby? You and Fez can go there. What do you care whether Barbara Streisand, what the ticket price is, or how well she's doing?
She's had a fall coming for a long time now, and I think America's glad that Barbara Streisand's on the outs.
She's getting $700 a ticket. How's that a fall?
I want you to know she's on the outs, but if she had to, she could reach around her couch and find more than your year's salary. Just that she had dropped out of her pocket over the last couple of weeks.
Well, then stop charging. How about having a free concert in Central Park for once? Do something for your fans. $750.
Are you one of the fans?
No.
Then what do you give a shit? I hate when everybody feels the need to spend everybody else's money. Tell them how to run their life. I only worry about running one person's life, and that's Earl's. And Earl, it's going to fucking, after the show today, it's going to look like Officer and a Gentleman. You're going to be running in mud, holding the rifle over your head while I'm squirting you with a hose.
I thought you meant
I'm going to fucking try to DOR this son of a bitch today after the show. That's the mood I'm in.
But he's got nowhere else to go.
I got nowhere else to go.
Oh, you think you're fucking joking?
No, I'm not joking.
You think you're fucking having a gag?
No.
A, it's true, you got nowhere else to go.
That's why I'm saying it.
And
exactly
B, you had nowhere else to go when we fucking brought you in.
Exactly. I'm not saying that it's a joke whatsoever.
The Officer and the Gentleman scene may be the bathroom suicide scene that Earl's acting out. He swallowed a ring.
Here's Jeff. Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I want to call Pink Dick. Tell me he's going to give up friggin' music, and he's this big Pink Floyd fan. What a jackass.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I said it was going to be hard. Didn't you hear? I said it was going to be very difficult. Well, then let's just say that you're not a big Pink Floyd fan. If you're giving that up Pink Floyd so you can watch The Contender. I love music, but I need to be visually stimulated more. I'm a visual person. I was told that by all the guidance counselors in the history of all the schools I've attended.
Then why don't you comb your hair?
I tried.
What did you fucking comb your hair with today? A carp?
No, I put it over to the side.
Where?
On the left. I have a part.
There's no fucking part in that head.
Well, I tried.
Lean down.
When I walk on the sidewalk.
Come on over. Lean down here. Let me see.
Show Ronnie where the part's supposed to be.
The part is.
Part is right here on the left side of my head, parting it to. Ow! Ow! Fuck!
Now you got smacked in your part.
Well, you want to put your head out like that? I had to give it a smack.
You told me to do it.
Oh. All right, then we're both wrong.
No,
I'm the first. I'm willing to say my part of that was wrong. And actually, that was more aimed at Earl, but he's in the other room.
And doesn't have any part. He's all part.
My head's ringing.
I'm aggravated today. You know what we ought to do? We ought to do the same thing the French do, and we just take August off. I know a lot of Republicans hate the French, and we have freedom fries and all that kind of shit. But you got to admit, the most civilized thing on the planet is an entire country taking a month off.
I'm all for it. I mean, why not? Every other and Europeans take long breaks and long lunch breaks. Why not take August off? It's too muggy to work anyway.
It is too muggy to work. It's too annoying. We could all go to the beach and just relax.
TV shows take the summer off. All the if you never saw Seinfeld on during the summer, why can't the rest of America do that?
Are you saying that Seinfeld is French? That's where you are on this right now.
I'm saying. Television in France.
Says, I don't mind you bringing him in, but he doesn't have to overtalk.
You can stop once in a while. You could have stopped it. I'm all in favor of that.
I'm in.
Seinfeld didn't have to be mentioned. The TV fall schedule, that lineup didn't have to be mentioned.
I feel like when he comes in here, you take August off. That you're just kicking your fucking feet up and go, well, okay, Dave's got it now.
I'm for it. That's the end of my statement.
Earl, what do they do in Africa? They take 12 months off, right?
Oh, that's got to be nice.
Well, it's warm all the time, so you could pretty much take a nice break.
But is it too warm to swat the flies off your face? That's the thing. I don't care how hungry I am. I'm still keeping the flies off my face. Well, that ain't going to happen.
They're too weak. It's not from a lack of effort. It's just like they can't even reach.
Weak to brush your face.
Yes.
Weaker than a fly. That's weak.
I'm not saying it. I see it as laziness. Mark, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yo.
Yeah, buddy.
I just want to call in about yesterday and give Earl some support because I think it's bullshit about Dave. I'm out here in Las Vegas, and I've worked in the concert industry, and a lot of times those assholes don't come through, and they promise you one thing, and then all he did was relay the message of what he was confirmed that everything was okay, and then he got fucked on it. And so Dave shouldn't get pissed over what the fucking...
About? Dave has the temper. I'm not going to lie to you about that.
You're confusing people.
No. Mark, let me tell you this.
Or not Dave, but...
Here's why I think that you back up Earl in this. Because you can't come through either.
No, shit, dude. Come out to Vegas, dude. If you want, I'll get you the Red Piano tickets before that show's done. I'll get you tickets for Love, the new Beatles show, which is awesome, by the way. It kicks ass.
What's the new Beatles show? They're all dead.
It's like a Beatlemania.
Oh. It's Cirque du Soleil. It's their new show that was actually the only show that was approved by
when I go to Vegas, I only want to see one show, and that's two hookers going down on each other while I'm smacking both of them with my belt. That's the fucking show I watch every time I go to Vegas. I just take my belt off, wrap it around my fist as I'm coming off the plane.
You always seem to be able to get tickets.
Yeah, I get tickets, all right. Now, both of you. I don't want to hear any whimpering. All right, Earl, maybe you should go to Vegas to work.
At least take the rest
of... croupier.
What's a croupier?
I don't know.
At this point, I just want to go into a hole in Vegas and crawl into it.
So you quit? Today's your last day?
No.
All right, today's the salute to Earl. The end of an era, Fez. We had a great time with him.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to get that memories back on already from Barbra Streisand. That gorilla.
Bitch.
I got to come up with $1,500. Take my check to a show.
Well, you won't see Miss Cindy Adams there.
Could you imagine you hand over $1,500, they hand you back 2 tickets? You're going to be furious. Fuck. Fred, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, if Dave is so visual, he can watch his DVD of The Wall with overproduced images instead of overproduced music.
Oh, little shot at the boys, at the Floydsters.
It's a visionary film. The visuals were groundbreaking.
Fezzy walked out on it.
Walked out. Only movie I've ever walked out on.
You probably were
with
tired.
2 middle fingers up in the air like Stone Cold, walking backwards.
Were you sick?
You're breaking glass, and there's Fezzy leaving.
I said, which wall has the exit attached to it?
Good one. You know, the fact is, as angry as you were, you turned it into a pun.
You were probably tired, though.
No.
See how annoying he can get?
Yeah, where I answer the question, and then he tells me no, that my answer isn't correct.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my feet up and start drinking water and see how long it takes you to be pissed at this son of a bitch.
That won't take long.
I hope you took a nap before you saw The Wall.
I'm already pissed. I am already pissed.
You're sure?
Because you did the sleeping line already. You did the hungry line. You did the didn't feel good line.
Okay.
I was in fine shape.
All
right.
Were you,
You say it's fucking tough, isn't it, Fez?
It's brutal.
Yeah. Nick, you're on Ron and Fez. Your phone's shit, brother. Your phone's just garbage. Hey, Anthony. Anthony, you're on Ron and Fez. Go ahead, Ant.
Hey, Ron, I gotta say, you are a sick bastard with the laziness comment with the flies flying from the face.
Well, I don't know. I got news for you. I probably don't watch a lot of these shows as closely as I could. I honestly didn't know. That's why, Earl.
I've never heard it described as laziness that they can't swat the flies.
But I mean, I don't care how sick I am. I'm getting fucking flies off my face. I just hate that.
I mean, it can't feel good.
I agree with you too, but I've never heard it described that way. You are a sick bastard. I'm out.
And I'd be honestly sleeping inside a net. I get one of those nets. Like when white people go to Africa, they always have a nice net all around them. I never see any of the Africans with one.
Maybe they can't afford.
How fucking expensive is a net?
Can't you make one?
Get a fucking fish net.
They don't have fishing equipment over there. I don't think. They have twigs and stuff. Certainly not any fishing equipment.
You tell me that they can't come up with a net.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. Not without American aid, that is.
Well, we send them stuff. I see them wearing Nikes when they're over there. See them wearing a Jordan shirt. Everybody sent them a net.
It would be as simple as pulling your shirt up over your face.
Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yes, I think Earl needs to get the publicist on the phone and call him out on that.
Earl is lying, and he doesn't even want to come up with it. And I'm going to guarantee you right now, I bet you didn't talk to Mikey D, explain to him where the tickets were last night, right, Earl?
I left him 2 voicemail messages last night.
Explain to him he might not know the way to ask for backstage.
What was told to me was that at will call, everything was going to be at will call. Tickets, and if there.
And what happens if it wasn't? What should Mikey have done?
What's your name, sir?
Well, that part, I had no control over that part. I didn't know who to. I mean, obviously, I didn't have a contact person at the venue to call.
I would have. If I was sat here and pretend I was Big Earl Douglas.
Because again, I was dealing primarily with the company on the West Coast.
And I remember you're the one who bugged to get that fucking guy on our show. Whatever his name is.
Brett Michaels.
Nah, that can't be it.
Brett Summers?
Bret Hart. I thought you wanted to bring Bret Hart on the show, which I'd love to have.
Or Shawn Michaels.
Sure. I'd have them both on. This time it seems like fucking Bret screwed Bret. Here's Tommy. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tommy?
I think Fez.
Tommy?
I think I know why you didn't like The Wall.
Why is that?
Were you tired when you saw it?
No, I was not tired, and I think I've covered that. Thank you.
Maybe you didn't eat something. Did you eat?
These are good. This is what I was wondering, Tommy. Thank you for asking these important questions.
Do me a favor. Let me see the part in your hair again. This time I won't hit you.
Okay.
Because
really,
do you really have a part?
me.
Do you really have a fucking part?
Yeah, on the left side.
Yeah,
I try and pattern my hair after John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, my word.
But don't, this time.
Well, take your fucking...
I know, I am. I'm going
headphones
to.
on. Really, where is it?
On the... Ouch!
I'm sorry. I really do want to say it now.
All right. But this time, don't do it, please.
I'm not going to do it.
This is the last... Ouch!
That's for saying the same shit.
I do it.
That's for saying... No.
That's it. No,
That's it? You're not going to do it again?
I'm not falling for that again.
That's 3 smacks in a row to your non-existent part.
It hurts.
Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I just want to say definitely music over TV. And Dave, you can get a remote for your laptop. And if you need visual stimulation, go back and look at the picture of Ron slapping the shit out of your head.
It's not on the website.
You know what? I apologize.
I have a headache.
Well,
I already have a head cold.
You know why you have the headache?
Yeah.
Because I kept slapping you. And I feel seriously sorry for that. I feel partially to blame.
I accept your apology.
Well, we both apologize.
I apologize, too.
All right, come here, buddy. Let's be friends again.
If I shake your hand, are you going to do something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. I'm going to smack you again.
I'm not doing to shake your head, then.
If you get within fucking 2 feet of me, I'm going to smack you again. And I'm going to tell you something else. Today it starts with smacks, tomorrow it's closed fists, and eventually I break a bottle and I cut your fucking jugular out.
Wait.
And I guarantee you.
You escalated a little
You know what?
quickly,
I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to just go, what's the defense like? I'm going to hear the air check. Just play that for the jury. And I bet people in the jury are going to be going like this as the show's going along. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him.
You can't you just lengthen that a little? I mean, tomorrow maybe open-handed to the face.
All right, I'll do that for you.
Thank you.
Tomorrow,
not close.
And now you owe me a favor back.
All right.
But tomorrow I'll smack you in the face.
Okay.
Here's Brian. You're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah. The United Nations Foundation has a charity called Nothing But Nets to buy nets for African families.
Yeah, they are, but they're soccer nets. And what the fuck is that for?
They're not soccer.
That is not going to help you to sleep inside a soccer net. The flies still get through.
And maybe that's why the Ivory Coast team went so far this year.
I thought that website was net.net.
Hey, Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Earl was talking earlier about the day in history with the blacks, only 3/5 of being a human being. He only did 3/5 of a job on the damn tickets for Mikey D, right?
There's the winning cowbell.
Out of mouths of babes. You're going into the big-ass prize closet, my friend.
You're going to get a CD copy of the Ramones' greatest hits thanks to Rhino Entertainment. That CD is in stores now, or you can go to rhino.com for more information about it.
Yeah, that's the perfect gift for that hayseed, Fez. I'm sure he's a big Ramones fan. Ramones, thank you very much. Here's Kevin. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how you doing, guys? I just wanted to defend Earl. I've been in his position before, and record companies will pull the last minute. And before Earl can even do anything about it, they're already telling him, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. So now he looks like the bad guy.
He's the bad guy today. Somebody's got to be responsible. It's the world of rules, my friend.
I think being hard on him, right?
And here's the thing. Not only did he let himself down, he let Fez down, he let Dave down. Because those guys all attacked Mikey D yesterday. And I think today, under the new morning light, we could see that Mikey D was correct. Pitsy and I, on the other hand, we knew better. And
Pitsy wasn't even here.
Exactly. Don't you wish you would have missed yesterday? You'd be over here in the winner's circle with me and Pitsy.
And Mikey D was not justified yesterday whatsoever. I don't think Mikey D was right at all.
By today's thing, he said Earl's fucking us all up. He couldn't take his wife. He never got backstage. He was promised 3 tickets front and back. That's what he was promised.
He was promised for Earl to do the favor for him, but Earl wasn't able to do the favor. So Mikey's just...
Don't say that you can do somebody a favor, Fez. If I say to you, oh, I'm going to feed your dog, right, while you're away. You're going away for a month, I'm going to feed your dog. You come back, your fucking dog's dead, right?
Right.
I'm going to say to you, hey, I wanted to, please. I said I'd do you the favor. I couldn't make it over. Let's not make a big deal out of it. The dog has to be fucking fed.
I wish Earl had fed the dog yesterday. But
well, now the dog's dead. And yet you're saying that somehow Mikey D's to blame for that.
Mikey D's behavior was just unacceptable.
So's Earl's.
Throughout the whole thing.
You're going back to you thought it was unacceptable during your meltdown. That's where all this goes back to. This is all about the meltdown.
And I told Earl yesterday, why keep helping the guy if that's the gratitude you're going to see?
And now we got to.
And then he kept trying to help the guy, and he didn't come through.
And now we got to find a way of making up to him.
No, we do not.
And that trip to Vegas is on my mind now. If we can get that for him, trip to Vegas.
Bret Michaels, I don't think did he ever even offer backstage passes?
Yeah, he did.
Just offered.
Oh, I want to fucking meet you. Come on over. He called back after he did the fucking interview, like acting like we're all going to get together and have hoagies.
Still think Earl's in the right here.
Earl, you got to get the fucking Bret Michaels, and you got to get something in that fucking needle of his, so that he's shooting up some kind of window cleaner.
What about air? Air in the hypodermic.
You're having fun with it, aren't you, Earl?
No, I'm not.
I want him to shoot up window cleaner when he thinks he's doing something to his sugar diabetes, and I want you around and say, Ron and Fez say hello. And that's the last thing he hears.
Just put some cotton candy in that syringe.
Fucking starving. We got any cotton candy?
That should do it.
Or a funnel cake or corn dogs. Any carny food at all, Earl?
No, we're out of carny food, unfortunately.
I'll take one of those hideous snow cones right now. Even a blue one.
The blue was always my favorite.
I bet it was, huh? You've been known to do it from an early age.
I meant blue coloring.
Oh. I meant blue job. All right, we're going to take a little break here. We'll be right back. Ron and Fez.
Ronnie. Fezzy. The Ron and Fez Show. XM 202.
Ron and Fez Show. Joe Lieberman dropped last night, but it ain't over, Fez. He said that's just the first half.
Yeah, he said he's already filed the papers to run as an independent for a U.S. Senator out of Connecticut.
Why don't you just run as a Republican?
I think they already have their nominee, so he wouldn't be able to get on as a Republican either. I think technically, even though in his heart he should run as a Republican, I don't think technically he can get on there. So he told the troops last night that it's not over yet. Not done yet. As he's waiting for this thing to finish. He's just not exciting people on the campaign trail whatsoever. So we'll have to see exactly what happens with his independent campaign. And we'll see if he's going to split the Democratic voters or if he's just out all the way.
How many percentage points did he lose by last night?
I think it was like Ned Lamont had like 54 points.
52 to 48.
52 to 48.
So it's still close enough to where he can kind of make a stand where he has enough Democratic votes and enough independent votes to get him reelected.
Yeah, and then I think we were talking about last week where it was, even if he's reelected, he'll still be a Democrat in the Senate. It's not like the Senate's going to lose that seat. The Democrats are going to lose that seat in the Senate.
So he doesn't lose his actual title if he gets reelected.
No, he doesn't. The party doesn't lose a seat if he gets elected as an independent.
That's kind of
a traitor, though. I mean, you can't,
Well, now what's going to happen is everyone that campaigned for him before, like Senator Chris Dodd and Senator Clinton and Bill Clinton, they're all saying no. Now you're not the Democrat, so there's no need whatsoever to party for you.
Yeah, see, that's the bad thing. Normally you will turn or switch parties or whatever when the machine has turned on you. But the machine got behind the guy. It's the people of Connecticut the Democrats of Connecticut who no longer wanted him. So it really is a slap in the face to that party and all the people who backed him all those years to do this, to act like, okay, now I ran through with it, but I put myself above the party politics.
Yeah, so just everyone that was there on his side is now gone. He's totally on his own, abandoned. That's Representative Cynthia McKinney in Georgia. She was the one, they did an investigation after she slapped up a Capitol Police officer for not having her ID.
Yeah.
She lost in her primary, too. So they're not going to send Clubber Lang back to the Congress.
She may run on the batshit crazy ticket, which might not be a bad way for her to go.
Have you seen her eyes? That's 4 sides white right there. She does look absolutely nuts. And I don't know if she had that look before she started beating up people, but she definitely has it now.
Maniac. Absolute maniac. Swinging while you're elected to that office. Swinging on people. Like you're in a Kmart.
And then Catherine Harris, she's running for Senate, U.S. Senate in Florida.
As Joker. She wants to represent you as the Joker.
Her campaign slogan is, "Where do they get a load of me?" But the Republican Party in Florida actually sent her a letter. We can't do this. We're just not supporting you whatsoever. So she got a nice letter in the mail saying it's over.
She should have said, who stole the election for you? Don't you feel you owe me? I would feel like I had to back her for anything if I was a Republican.
It would also make me think that she would have to get her Joker face out on a podium and say that, too. Listen, I was here for you people.
I started throwing votes away. I was throwing stuff off the truck. Hey, Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, 2369 calling in.
You know what, you're going to get a hoo-ah right, especially for yourself.
Oh, yeah. Fezzy, I just want to let you know that you're wrong about Lieberman. The Democratic leadership in the Senate has said that if Lieberman runs as an independent and wins, he will lose all of his committeeships, and it will not be considered a Democratic seat because they are very upset that he is bolting from the party.
Oh, so he's not just running as an independent Democrat, he's just pure independent.
That's right.
How can you be an independent Democrat?
Well, someone who's a Democrat but running not for the Democratic Party.
But how can you be a Democrat and not be with the party?
I thought as long as he didn't officially change his party affiliation, if he was still in that seat, he'd still be a Democrat.
But he's running against a Democrat. You cannot be a Democrat and run against the Democratic ticket, just the same way that you can't be a Republican and run against the Republican ticket. You are involved in a party.
Oh, okay, so I totally blew that one.
Well, it's not a matter of blowing it. We're still trying to figure it out while we sit here. But I can't imagine. Normally, I've seen it happen before where the party goes, this Fez Whatley, even though he has the seat, he's such a lone wolf. He's off on his own. We're not going to back him. We're going to bring in another guy. And they run all their resources against him. But I didn't see the Democrats do that to Lieberman at all. If anything, they went out of their way to help him in that primary, and he's the one who's turned his back on his own party.
Yeah, they said Big Bill Clinton there. The big gun of campaigning for the Democratic Party.
Hey, remember me? I used to be president.
Didn't Jerry Brown, though, run as an independent Democrat against Clinton in 92?
He ran as an independent.
It was totally independent?
Yes.
I thought it was an independent Democrat.
How can you be an independent Democrat? There's not an independent Democrat ticket.
See, I thought when Lieberman said that he was running as an independent,
right,
it just meant an independent campaign, not for any particular party. Like when Jesse Ventura ran, he ran for the Reform Party. I thought independent party was two different things.
Well, but no, you're running as an independent, but there's two parties. There's the Republican ticket and the Democratic ticket. When you don't back the ticket, you're out of the party, right? How could you be with the party and against the ticket? It's like when John Anderson ran as an independent in 1980, he no longer was a Republican after that. He was a Republican up to the point, but when he went off on his own, he was on his own. Reagan didn't suddenly go welcome him back in.
Right. And Wesley Clark had to do the same thing except the opposite. He kept, people thought he was independent and he registered as a Republican to run for president.
Right, exactly. You have to be involved with that party. Wait, Wesley Clark was a Democrat.
Oh, right, yeah, Democrat.
Anyway, We got caught up in a fucking quagmire here. It's something we weren't even thinking about. Fez, you've been feeling a little catty lately, I understand, huh?
I've been feeling very catty this week.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
Say, Ronnie.
Yes, Fez.
Did you hear that the cops showed up after Heather Mills tried to get into Paul McCartney's locked house?
Not a word about it.
Paul had to change the locks after somebody was sneaking in swiping cans of lacquer. Heather originally had her security guard go over the wall to get in, but the first plan was to have him boost her over the wall. Unfortunately, the only thing that went over was a leg. Then they used that to distract the guard dogs by playing fetch. Then Paul's people called the police after that. One of them pulled out a nightstick. Heather used that to walk home with. No need to explain, right, Ronnie?
Not a bit, Fuzzy.
I just don't understand why Paul wouldn't let Heather in the house. Is she a serious threat? Won't he hear her coming down the hallway? And what's she gonna do? Steal a single shoe? Heather, I know you miss the mansion, and your leg misses its friends too. Coffee table and hat rack. But it's time, Heather. Time to learn to stand on your own one foot.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
Well, you really let her have it both guns, Fez.
So what I've heard about the Paul McCartney-Heather Mills divorce is that she has turned down, I think, right around a $50 million settlement.
Oh, I don't blame her.
Where she knows, she could get half a bill.
Right. You can't blame a woman for leaving, saying, I don't want to leave $450 million on the table.
There should be another 400 that goes along with this.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
Say, Ronnie.
Yes, Fez.
Did you hear that Tori Spelling's mother is stopping her from doing a TV tribute to her dad, Aaron Spelling?
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Tori...
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I'm lost now.
Did you hear about it?
Yeah.
Tori's mom won't let her use footage from any of her father's shows. And without footage, we'd have to stare at Tori for an hour, and no network is going to show that. Not even Sci-Fi. Apparently, Tori's mom, Candy, just hates her. It must be from all those years of people saying, gee, Tori looks just like you, Candy. Also, thanks to her mom, Tori won't be invited to the Emmy tribute to her dad. But, if the Emmys invite Tori, then they also have to invite Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, Old Yeller, all the famous dog acts. With me on this, Ronnie?
Hand in hand, Fuzzy.
Tori, there's other ways to honor your dad other than trying to get on TV. Start a foundation, a place that helps other bug-eyed frog-mouthed girls get television shows. Do something you know. We'll all remember your dad, Tori. Forget about a tribute and just go out and have fun spending your inheritance. And after you spend it all, let us know how that cup of coffee was.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
Way to take her down, Fezzy. She was all hoity-toity because her dad died, but... you gave her a shot or two.
I think every now and then it takes a little cattiness to put someone in their place.
Sure. Take her off that pedestal after she just buried her father.
So this isn't even a mean stepmom. This is her actual mom, not letting her near anything that has Aaron Spelling's name on it.
Hates her.
And now a catty moment with Fez.
Oh, say, Ronnie.
Yes, Fez.
Did you hear that Lindsay Lohan wants to go to Iraq and visit the troops?
Yeah, I heard all about it.
Now, why would she want to visit the troops? Did someone tell her that they have booze and coke? Actually, Lindsay says she wants to do what Marilyn Monroe did. And by that, I only hope she means murdered but made to look like a suicide. Lindsay, don't even bother. You're going to promise to do this, and then when it's time to meet the troops, you'll claim that you're too sick or exhausted to do it. And right after that, we'll see pictures of you out partying all night with insurgents. It's the same old story, huh, Ronnie?
Same old song and dance, my friend.
And Lindsay says she wants to go to Iraq with Hillary Clinton. Isn't that always the way? The cute girl shows up and won't talk to any of the guys unless they find someone for her chubby friend. We're on to both of you. Lindsay Lohan, you really want to entertain the troops? Just make sure no DVD copies of Herbie Fully Loaded find their way into Baghdad.
That was a catty moment with Fez.
Good stuff there, Fezzy. She's trying to help the troops. Hey, Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddy.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank Fez for his weekly Star Jones diary reading.
Well, Shine is the big piece. Wade, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, Fez, love the public apology, buddy.
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, Marty, you're on Ron and Fez.
I'm fucking starving. Do we have any Fezatorials back there, Earl?
Here is Scott. Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Just wanted to thank you for the back-to-back blind items.
Here, hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Go ahead, buddy.
That was a great Nature Boy moment, Sir Fag.
All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hey, Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Fez, I just wanted to congratulate you on the Pittsburgh Plotter impersonation. It was great.
It was one of his characters that he loves to play.
All those people were absolutely wrong. Those were catty moments, Ronnie. Catty moments.
Is there a difference?
Yes, I believe so. The catty moments, they're gossipy, and they take out the women that need to be taken down a peg.
Brian, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Fez, really enjoed the promos from Camel Toe Curtis.
Yeah, those are good. Camel Toe Curtis.
I do not do a character named Camel Toe Curtis.
You got a lot of characters you do, though. They're all great. They're all terrific. All right, 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Fez, I was reading this thing about stress. They say it's the number one killer now. Number one killer.
All right, so it seems hard to understand because it seems like there would be heart disease or something else above it.
You get that from stress.
Oh, okay, so stress is the reason for a lot of those other things.
There you go, buddy. There you go. So we got to find a way of being less stressful. I was thinking about this till it comes up. Would you want a stressful job for a lot of money, or a job that you love but the cash isn't there? Because I think the normal thing for an American do, especially an American man, is say, I'll take the job even if it's stressful. Because to me, sales in this country has gotten obscene, the stress they put those guys under. But I think Americans have a tendency to take the more stressful jobs for the more money.
I think they'll say, I'll deal with the stress to have the money.
What about you in particular, Fez?
I would take the stressful job for the more money.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Money means what to you?
It means a little bit more freedom. It means I can do some things for my family in Florida that I probably wouldn't be able to do if I had a lesser paying job. I would take the stress.
Yeah, I don't know if it means more freedom. I know if you get a job that costs you a lot of hours, it's just the exact opposite of freedom. What about for you, Earl?
I would take the job that I love for less money.
You would?
Yes, because, the stress. I probably couldn't deal with the stress. I mean,
you wouldn't be able to pull it off.
No, my body would break down. And what's the use of having all that money when you're spending it all on, medical bills and pills and all of these other things?
It's very true.
So
very, very true when you think about it. I don't know. It's a tough one. Fez came up with a good point, though. Normally you do that not to make your own life better, but to make other people's lives better. The people who really don't live with stress, they live it easier, and then they have that one relative that'll help them out. Hey, Andy, you're on Ron and Fez. Do you take the high-paying job with stress or the lower-paying job that you love doing?
I would take the higher-paying job, but I think Fez should take a stress test.
Well, you have taken those, right, Fez?
Yeah, I took one right before our last vacation. It was fine.
I see. Well, the job I'm in is stressful as it is, anyways.
What kind of work do you do, Andy?
I'm in the military.
Military, and what's the stress on you? People killing you?
Well, the MOS I'm in is 11 Bravo. It's infantry.
Yeah.
So I'm out in the field all the time.
So a lot of stress, but do you dig it? Do you like it?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm on a good career.
I think that even if it's stressful, but you love that thing, you're probably in the right amount of it. It's when you have the stress, you feel like you're not pulling off the job. That's the thing that eats away at the rest of your life. Lewis, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey guys, I would rather take the stressful job. I mean, I'm a yellow paid salesman. I'm on the road all the time, but it pays pretty well. The only thing that's driving me nuts is that I keep smoking a lot more.
Right. So you're coming up with a lot of bad habits. Now, why the more stressful job? Just for the money?
It pays off. It's somewhat of a rush too, But I mean, the downside to it is, a lot of stress, from upper management. You got to make this many sales a week. If you don't, you pretty much cut. I mean, we lost 2 guys last week.
Right.
I thought I was next on a chopping block. You know what I mean? So my smoking picks up every day.
Yeah, the sales jobs right now are, you could be hitting all your numbers, doing great, 2 bad weeks, and you're fucking out of there. They do not care anymore. No
you better
one,
fucking believe it.
And they'll just move you out, move another body in.
And you could be hitting all your goals and go into a meeting in the morning, and those goals change again.
Oh, the goals
they get higher.
They change every month. If you hit a month's job now in this country, and you go, all right, we had a great month last month, suddenly that becomes the minimum. That the best you've ever done becomes the minimum.
We know you can do it.
Yeah, we've seen you do it. So that's why a lot of guys will try to even hold back a little bit. Here's Rich. Rich, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, I'll take the lower paying job. I just got done taking a nap on my lunch break. It was great.
What kind of work do you do, Rich?
I work for the government.
So government job, you're not going to kind of make your mark in life through career, so you aim a little more on your personal life.
Exactly.
See, that's one of the things, Fez, when your thing is, when you see yourself as your job, what happens to your personal life there? You take a guy like you, for instance. Do you have any hobbies?
No.
Do you have a family of your own?
No.
And yet you work real hard, and are you ever really happy?
No.
And I don't work hard at all, and I'm fucking ecstatic. I come in here, I lie for 3 hours, I get out. Couldn't feel better about myself.
Yeah, I wonder also with the low-paying job if the stress shows up in different areas, though.
Like what?
Like, paying bills or something like that.
Paying bills is stressful. Very good point. You've got to have a certain... first of all, I'll tell you right now. Let's suppose you make 3, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just use the number 3. And your bills are 2, you're fine. But you can make 100. If your bills are at 110, that 100 doesn't mean shit to you. You are fucking totally unhappy if you're living in a mansion, but they're going to fucking boot you out of that mansion in 2 weeks if you can't come up with that cash. But you need this. You know that you need certain things to live. You need shelter, you need food, you need transportation. After that, and I'm not talking about health care and family and all that.
Right.
I'm just talking about the regular things like that. What you do with them is really just a matter of bullshit from that point on. When you have a house, this is where I live, when you get a bigger house or a nicer house, it's only going to make you happier for a little period of time. It doesn't stick with you. Same like if you go from your car to a nicer car. You really are enjoying it for the first couple of weeks, first 3 weeks, a month. After that, it's just your fucking car.
Yeah, then it becomes that thing that takes me to that job.
Right, exactly. So no matter what it is, most of the things that we like to purchase to make ourselves happier, that's very, very minimal. It doesn't stick. It doesn't stay. And I don't care who you are. You could get that yacht. You'll love it at first, but after that, it's just a boat. You're better off just having something that you can deal with. And when you find yourself working for cars and houses and things, I don't see how you're going to be happy that way. Here's Greg. Greg, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, you boys. How you doing? Yeah, I actually was faced with that tangible choice about 5 years ago. Had a job I loved, 9 to 5, weekends on my own. Good times, and but I made dick, and then I went ahead and took the high-stress, high-paid job, and I've regretted it daily ever since, because you get addicted to that cash.
Yeah.
You're making 30, and you're living on it. Now you're making 300, and it's still not enough. No matter how much you make, you'll always find a way to spend every frickin' nickel.
Yeah, that is true. That is really, really true. That you do find a way of living within that point in life. You know what I mean? That it becomes, you're like, well, no, I don't camp anymore. Hell no. I've got to have a beautiful place. I got to go to Hawaii. And everything kind of rises up. And basically, you're going to go back to right where you were before, I think, in terms of happiness.
Yeah, that's true. With the bills, your bills are going to change if you're making more money. That's absolutely true.
There's
going to be
for everybody.
It's going to be more on the charge cards, everything.
Here's Charlie. Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Hey, what about marrying a fine woman that all your buddies try to fuck? Why not just marry one that ain't so good looking, and you ain't got to worry about every guy trying to fuck her?
Oh, there used to be that song about that, right? If you want to be happy for the rest of your life. Yeah, it's a good point. And again, then you've got to try to raise the level when you get that woman in your life that wants something all the time, that she needs some fucking dress or ring or something to make her feel better. Here's Kenny. Kenny, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello, Ron and Fez.
Yeah.
Hey, Fez, you stole my thunder about 5 minutes ago. I was saying neither one's good because if you take a low-paying job, then you just worry about paying your bills all the time.
Well, you got to be able to pay your bills. No matter what happens, you've got to work out a way to treat your income and your lifestyle have got to meet up on some level. Because we've all been in that fucking point where we know we wrote a rent check that we bounced. Everybody has done that before, or you got your phone is about to be turned off. And that is the worst fucking shit that you can go through. When you're laying there at night going, tomorrow's coming and it don't feel good. At the same time, you get, we'll go back to that sales guy. You build yourself up to this income, but you live in a job, you work in a job that you can't enjoy. And they say the same thing about pro football, that most of the guys who play pro football do not enjoy themselves because they're thinking every week is their last week. That they'll enjoy some of it in hindsight, but the time that they're playing is not an enjoyable time.
And I would think, especially with a sales job, I would think that with that high-stress job, there would be no downtime whatsoever. Like on the weekend, you're still probably trying to hustle a sale or something. You know, it's never going to be out of your mind.
That's the best thing about before you ever put on a tie. When you work in a fucking factory and you're hitting a fucking time clock, you hit that clock, you don't think about work. You know what I mean? When you're just moving crates from one side of a factory to the other, you don't go home thinking, hey, how can I move those crates better? You know? You literally leave the job behind you. And we've almost done away with that kind of work in this country. We've almost done away with, other than the fact that if it's your job, that's who you are.
And you got to live with it 24 hours. It's always on your mind.
It's your identity. It's your identity now. It's now the same way as, you know, your family last name.
And you take it with you on your vacation, too.
Here is Cooper. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
I was just going to tell you guys a story about my dad. He left a company. He was the president of a printing company, making well over 6 figures a year. And he went to go work for a non-for-profit organization, making a quarter of what he did just because he couldn't handle the stress anymore. He was mad every day, and now he's happy, you know? And, just getting that stress out of his life just helps out a whole lot.
All right, thank you very much. See, that's another point that we came up with, that most of these jobs that we're talking about, are you making the world better? No, you're not. Most of us have jobs that we're not making the world better. I'm trying to think if I ever even had one that I could say I've done something. You know what I mean? Like if you were doing something to help kids or whatever, that's got to feel some kind of accomplishment. But when you're just working in sales, or you're marketing fucking shoes or iPods for people, whatever it happens to be, what are you really doing other than making money for yourself?
I was watching this guy yesterday. I live on Retard Island, and this guy had taken the retards into the supermarket. Every Tuesday is their shopping day where they get their groceries for the week. And this guy, I mean, it was a pain in the ass. You couldn't get these retards to get their groceries on the conveyor belt, and everyone, it was just a big clusterfuck. And this guy that took him over there was having the time of his life with taking these guys out. He was laughing his head off, having fun with everything. And I'm thinking, this has got to be the most frustrating job in the world. There's no way I could possibly do it.
So what's your point of this story?
I'm sure that job is not paying anything. And he's loving it every day.
Because he's
happy and he's good at that, I guess.
Or maybe he feels like he's doing something good for society as a whole. It's not just that you happen to be good for it for your own purposes. Maybe if you're giving back. I've never gave back. I don't know what it feels like. Tip. Sure, Ronnie $2 is going to be there with a couple bucks for everybody. But have I ever really given back to society? No, I don't think I have. I really don't think I have.
None of my jobs have.
And I don't think you've ever been happy in your work.
No, I wasn't happy on the car lot. I wasn't happy at the Red Lobster.
You're obviously not happy here. Have you ever been happy?
I don't think I've ever been happy.
I would love to see you take retards out to the zoo. Take Dave and Claire. Why don't you just start this way? You take Dave and his wife out to the zoo, see if they have a good time, get them both ice cream.
Nice practice run.
Yeah.
I actually had to take a retard out to Great Adventure one time.
Yeah, and then you guys made out, right? And now hopefully you'll get married one day.
Nah, I had to do it for community service. And he always was taking his shoes off before going on the roller coaster. And there was a red alert saying, "Watch out for this retard because he keeps taking his shoes off." And finally, he was allowed to ride every single ride with his shoes off, and he stole about $30 in Tasmanian Devil merchandise.
What's this have to do with what Fez and I are talking about? Anything?
Well, what I'm saying
you heard the word retard, so you thought you would add a story about a retarded person.
No, I'm saying if Fez wants to do take a retard out, they're not so bad. They're loads of laughs, actually.
They're loads of blast. They're loads of blast. I feel like a retard just fucking told the story. Let me ask you this: the retard buy you that shirt?
No, my mom bought me this.
Same thing.
Footer, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
Just wanted to give you a little insight here. I'm a career musician, did music for a long time, and finally, get a major record deal. It was nothing what I thought it would be. I mean, I ended up walking away pretty much, from everything just to get a little fucking normalcy in my life. Knowing that, if I didn't sell over 500,000 records, I had no future. It was just a matter of, okay, hey,
you actually owe them money back, too.
You got it. And just, there's plenty of other things that, come into play as far as just not having health insurance. You get an advance, which is a pretty nice advance, but, that's only going to last so long when you're on the road and you have certain, road support and shit, but that's it. I wanted that normalcy, so I ended up leaving it all just for that, and, it's an all right thing.
And the road, too. I mean, I love fucking traveling, but I hate having to be somewhere. You know what I mean? I like traveling at my pace, not the itinerary pace. That just drives me insane. So, Footer, he got off that road, Fuzzy. He got off that road. Here's Bill. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, thanks for taking the call, buddies.
Hey, buddy.
Walked away from big paying sales job with one of the telecommunication giants, making buttloads of money. My wife looked at me one day and says, "You're going to fucking die on me." She says, "You're going to have a heart attack." She says, "Go find something you enjoy to do. We'll live with less money." We refinanced everything, took care of our money. We don't go to the Caribbean every year. We go every other year now. But I'm driving a truck. I'm sitting in a parking lot waiting for a customer to show up now, just listening to you guys, and loving every minute of it.
Best movie ever made, huh?
Oh, fantastic. And, I can say, hey, I'm doing something positive for the world. I'm curing world hunger, one pizza at a time here.
All right, my friend.
Food.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. That's a bad thing, Fezzy. We've never given back to the world. Never given back to the universe.
No.
If anything, we probably, through our attitudes, hurt the world. We probably hurt the universe a little bit.
Oh, I hate to think that.
I mean, just think of the amount of negativity that comes from comedy. It's not a positive thing.
But if people are laughing, isn't that a positive thing?
Look what they're laughing at. Other people's sorrow, other people's pain. You did that joke today, that sick joke about the people in Africa being too lazy. They get flies off their face. What are they doing? Putting a soccer net around themselves. Instead of having that attitude, Fez, why don't you do something like this? You try to help.
But that wasn't me that said that. I think
it's your show.
It was you.
It's your fucking show. You're
yeah.
just as responsible.
Yeah, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, but you're thinking. What I've said to you is making you think a little bit, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, something, because I always thought maybe neutral with the universe.
Yeah. What?
Nah, but I didn't realize hurting the universe.
Oh, I think of fucking humor itself, negative force. There's never positive jokes. This is why Christians aren't funny. Go to one of those Christian comedy nights. It's fucking terrible.
Those are awful.
Yeah. You need a negative person to make people laugh. Like Jimmy Norton. Negative person, hysterical.
But don't the laughs have a positive influence on the people that are hearing them?
Yeah, like the people that laughed at Jesus as he was being put up on the cross. Maybe that was like a good positive thing for the universe, Fez. Earl, you're Christian, right?
Yes, I am.
Tell Fez there's nothing funny about the Lord being crucified.
There was nothing humorous. He suffered, bled, and died.
I understand that, Earl. That wasn't the joke part.
And now, why do you think so many comedians are Jewish?
Because Christians aren't funny?
No, it's what I'm trying to say is it's in the blood from what that first joke.
Oh.
What's known as now the first prank. AJ, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you, buddy?
How's it going, guys?
Yeah.
I did exactly what you guys are talking about. Took the better paying job. I was working 4 hours a week before, 10 hours. I love my job, was doing in-home repair for people, got to do one-on-one with them.
Yeah.
Now I'm a sales supervisor, and I have an hour commute, and I hate it more than anything.
Oh, man, by the way, commuting is one of the worst things for you. One of the
I know,
worst.
but I got you guys, though.
Huh? Yeah, that's another way we're negative. We add to the whole commuting thing. Thank you very much.
We're helping people through their commute.
Are we?
Yeah. Give them something to listen to.
Yeah, negative stuff. We should be filling them with positive stuff. Like waterfall noises and meditations.
That might make them doze off. That may not be the way to go.
Don't matter if you doze off in these commutes anymore. You're bumper to bumper. You stop most of the time. Tommy. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, Ronnie, I can hear you, bro.
Tommy?
Yes, sir.
Tommy?
Hey, man, I got a low-stress job, man. I don't make shit, but I supplement my income by selling weed, and that makes the world a lot better. You know?
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I think people that sell marijuana, they're helping the world, obviously. You're helping to reduce stress. It's a stress reduction that isn't addictive and isn't bad for the body.
His weed sales is probably a less stressful job than his regular job.
Except for if somebody's wearing a wire. Hey, if you had to look around 202 and say who would be wearing a wire, who would you say?
I would say Earl, definitely a wire wearer.
Doesn't have the fucking personality for it. Do you see how quick he crashed today under the pressure? He'd never be able to sit here with a wire on.
See, that's why I thought he would crash under the pressure of the police and put one on.
Yeah, but then you've got to be able to maintain.
Oh, yeah, you got to pull it off once you're inside. Who else would be wearing a wire around here? Probably Buddy.
There's only one person, that's E-Rock. E-Rock would come in with a wire, and even to this day, I think he's wearing one. Let me go to Doug. Doug, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Go ahead,
hey,
Doug.
Buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, I miss Memoirs, Fez.
Me too.
Hey, I got to say, though, I think Billy Blanco, from the Bronx there, he could definitely pull off wearing a wire because the guy's cooler than cool.
Yeah, he is. That's true.
I don't know if you could get it on him, but if you got it on him, he'd bring everyone down because that guy's cool.
Fucking Bronx Johnny might be the guy to pull it off if you can get him into it.
Damn
Nobody
right.
would ever suspect.
Yeah, that's the thing. You would never think.
Where E-Rock, I'm constantly patting down that fucker every time I run into him. Curious bastard. What else, Doug?
Hey, yeah, I don't know. Majority of the people I know that they don't really come out ahead. I've seen a lot of high income people with high stress jobs. They spend every damn dime they make and then some. That's it. All they seem to end up is divorced and and bankrupt.
It is that there's a lot of truth to that. That you will throw everything out of balance. And I mean, I've had the really big houses before, and you would be surprised that you end up just living in a very small part of that big house.
Oh, you get your living area, and that's all you need.
I mean, what do you really
inside.
need? Yeah, you got your favorite chair, your desk, your bed. other than that, you're just wandering around. There's just more space in between those places.
I talked about Tori Spelling earlier. On TV, I saw the Spelling Mansion, Aaron Spelling's mansion, and there's no way that family has been in every room of that place. It just looks like it's, a hotel or a mall or something.
The only reason to have a place like one of those mansions is to impress other people. I mean, also, too, those places always go up in money. But you don't use all that space. It's not like you're loving on that. I'm sure everyone's gotten a pool or a pool table or whatever, air hockey, where you're shocked that after the first month, you're not using it very much. You know what I mean? Whatever it happens to be that takes up when you think, we'll have a game room. And no time at all, you're like, I haven't been in the game room in forever. You just go back. I've had a pool where I'm like, I better go in the pool because I haven't been in there and summer's ending. It's a lot of upkeep, and what does it do for you? Nothing.
Yeah, with the pool table and the pinball machines and stuff, it's a lot of, we'll have tournaments, I'll have people over, we'll have parties in there. That never arises. It never happens.
Hey, Jeff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that I'm self-employed, been for almost 30 years, and I take care of a bunch of whiny-ass, bitchy millionaires' places.
Yeah.
And I work about 20 hours a week, and I run up to the lake at the end of the week for four-day weekends, 5-day weekends at sometimes. I got it made. Compared to these, I'd rather have my life than their life anytime.
Well,
you know what? You got a $5 million condo. A $5 million condo. Who the fuck needs that? You know what I mean?
When you get those really high-paying jobs, all you think about doing is getting away into nature, going to a beach somewhere, going to the mountains.
But everything we have is paid for.
Yeah, you think about that shit all the time. What's it like
all
to
I
get
think
away?
about is how I can get back there.
Yeah.
All these guys are thinking about is how can I pay for my life now because it's so goddamn expensive.
It is.
That I'm mortgaged up to my eyeballs. And my wife and I, our kids are out of college now. I'm almost 50. I love my life. It's paid for.
Beauty, buddy.
And I get to work for a bunch of whiny-ass fucking millionaires that are going to die of heart attacks and strokes and shit like that, Yeah, I'm a CEO, so are they. But they haven't figured it out yet.
I'm going to send you in your big-ass prize closet. Because I feel like you just gave us all of life. I think we just got a life lesson there, Fez.
Jeff, hang on. You're going to get a CD copy of Don't You Know Who I Think I Was. That's the best of the replacements, thanks to Rhino Entertainment. That CD's in stores now. And, of course, always check out rhino.com.
Hey, John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I'm a truck driver, and in about 8 months, I'm going to be quitting my job. I've had my vehicles repossessed. I'm going to hike 2,600 miles. I'm just tired of the bullshit.
No, where are these 2,600 miles you're going to be hiking?
It goes from the border of Mexico all the way up into Canada.
And how are you walking? I mean, where is this trail?
My friend's going to drop me off down there. I'm going to just have a backpack, and I'm going to be hiking. It's a trail, Pacific Coast Trail, runs from Mexico to Canada, and it takes about 6 months to do. And I've already, like I said, I've let everything go back. I'm tired of the stress being a truck driver and dealing with people and all the bullshit, so it's time to do something for me.
No, you camping outside the whole time you're doing this?
Oh, yeah.
It's 6 months. Just outside.
2,600 miles.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's wild, man. Best of luck to you, bro.
Thanks.
That's it. I had known about the Appalachian Trail on the East Coast, but I didn't know they had one over on the Pacific Coast.
I never heard of that either. He's like Survivor Man out there.
Yeah, that's true. 6 months, you're outside, you're walking around, you're meeting people, you're having little adventures.
And taking it from the dry, hot climates of Mexico all the way up to the colder climates of Canada.
Wild stuff. Earl, maybe that's something you ought to get involved in.
Yeah, that sounds something really cool.
You got bad feet, Earl. I don't see you as a hiker.
What signal did you just give me, Earl?
We have a special guest on the phone.
Really? Oh, geez, you got to be kidding me.
Yes.
I'm very, very excited about this, Fez. I consider her to be one of the finest actors that we have today, Fez. Phenomenal actor, and always picking really cool roles for herself.
She's standing by. We're going to be talking with Lily Taylor. Her film Factotum, excuse me, starring Matt Dillon and Marissa Tomei. That is opening Friday, August 18th, a week from this Friday.
Here is Lily Taylor. You're on the show. How are you, Lily?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Huge fan of yours.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just brilliant work. I always bring you up as one of my favorite actors. And this last film that you've done with Matt Dillon, you're doing the Charles Bukowski book, right?
Yeah.
And that's got to be a little difficult to pull off, right? I mean, it's not cheery stuff at all.
Well, you know what I like, though, about the movie is the director went against all of that stereotypical drunk stuff. And
right.
So the movie actually has a lot of light and humor to it, and which I think is brilliant, because too much of that stuff, and I'm out of there.
What do you look for when you're going to pick? Do you worry more about your character, or do you look for the story itself?
The director.
Really?
Yeah, it could be a great script or a great character. It doesn't matter, because who cares? If the director's not going to be doing something interesting, then I'm wasting my time and everyone else's.
So have you gotten into that situation where you're like, I like the script, I like the character, but this guy's taking us all in the wrong way, or?
Yeah, if the director just seems sort of weak or lost, it's like, you know what, it's like I could do this scene in an acting class or in my apartment. I don't have to waste everybody's time with this nonsense,
So that's still fun for you to take the classes? You still get some kind of feedback from that, or?
No, I don't go to class, actually, but if there was a great script that had not a great director, maybe I would join a class just to do it.
just to have the experience.
Yeah.
Now, you've done a lot of theater, too, right?
Yeah, I do about a play a year.
Now, is that a totally different experience, or?
It's totally different. I love them both. Film and TV, film and theater. I do TV too, but
right.
I love film and theater, and they both give me different things. I just feel that when I finish a play, I feel like I could bench 2,000 pounds. I feel so strong. I feel like I could do any acting job in the world.
And the movies, it kind of wears you down a little more, or? The
movies, like, I find concentration seems to be the big thing I'm working on with movies, and the preparation before the movie. But once I'm in it, it's not the same. Different muscles are at work. With a play, it's just really, plays are hard.
Oh, is that right? It's a much more difficult thing to pull off?
It is. It's a lot harder, and I don't know why, but it is.
Now, you with Matt Dillon, do you guys discuss it before you both would take the role? Do you go in and check with somebody like him to see if you have chemistry? Because I watched the film. You guys did have chemistry together, and it is... It's hard stuff to watch, but like you said, you guys took it in a different direction. Do you have to agree on that together, or?
Yeah, you do. And I've known Matt it feels like I've known him for 20 years. We've never worked together directly, but we live in the same neighborhood, always running into each other, mutual friends. So it felt familiar to me. And I guess on a deeper level, he felt familiar to me on another level. And so we just were right there with each other, and we spoke the same language, and we knew we would go to the same place together.
And when I watched this film, I kind of felt like both of you were physically performing differently than I ever saw you guys perform before.
That's what a few people have said. It's funny because, we've both been doing this a long time, and I think I don't think it's as much happening for me at the moment, but I think he's totally coming into himself as a man and as an actor. I'm probably going to be following suit, but I'm not quite at the place he's at, and it's so neat to kind of be with him during this time. That it's such a neat time for him.
So, were you guys were you aware of that before, or it's after you go back and look at the film?
You mean specifically what's happening with Matt?
Yeah, like, can you say, like, when you guys were doing the film, did you know these changes were taking place, or do you have to stand back and take a look at it?
In this case, I knew when we were doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could sense it. And I think the energy that's coming off of him is so... he just knows who he is now. He's just here, and he's ready to go, and he's got all this wisdom, and yet he's going back to this kind of innocent place. So he's got this great thing happening.
So, and it's probably, I mean, I've always thought of you as a person who cared more about being an actor more than the movie star thing. I think when Matt was younger, he was thrown into the movie star thing, and now he's gone a little more independent. Is that like a big difference when you work with people who seem to be caught up in their personality, or?
Yeah, it's like, I think the thing with Matt, and I think the same thing with Johnny Depp, they're both so handsome that their looks sort of, they had to really fight, you know, and they're very similar actually in that Johnny feels finding himself in this great way also. I feel like those are two rare examples where they're really actors, but I haven't actually worked with a lot of celebrities. I wouldn't be that interested in it because it's all about the work for me, and I think a lot of celebrities, it's about a very different thing. It's about sort of playing a role out for our culture, which has its benefit, has its value, but I'm not as interested in working with it.
In terms of value, almost like the gossip value for the rest of America, like the popular kids in high school value, or how?
Well, unfortunately, it has come to that. I mean, in another way, it's sort of like, this might be elevating it too much, but it's sort of similar to the Greek god stuff, and just the celebrity carrying a lot of projections of the culture and, you know, working our stuff out. But unfortunately, it's Jessica Simpson is no, you know, Hera, Zeus's wife. She's no, you know, she's not that interesting.
Yeah, and yet they dominate these magazines now. I mean, even when I was younger, I thought the gossip business was big, but I think in the last 7-8 years, it's gotten like 10 times bigger.
It's really disturbing. I actually just was saying like that if a Martian came to visit us, they'd say, well, why is this Jessica Simpson so important? Is she the queen? Is she the empress of the land or something? You know,
it really is strange. And then it seemed like the when her husband broke up with her, that made him more popular. Like staying together when it was a career suicide.
It's absolutely empty. It's absolutely signals. Hopefully it doesn't signal the end, but it's a wake up call. We're in trouble. We gotta get deeper, or we're not going to make it.
Now, one of the things I follow your career a little bit. You were talking before maybe about doing the Janis Joplin thing, but now it looks like you're not going in that direction.
You know, that one was tricky because we had all the rights and then we lost them. And so now essentially I would be an actress for hire. And the way things are working now, like I remember at the last I'd heard, like 5 years ago, they were thinking about Demi Moore.
Right.
So clearly they're not going with who's best for the part, and that's just, I can't see them, you know, auditioning me, you know what I mean?
Well, darling, you just keep doing the work that you do, okay?
Thank you, and thank you for your support. That means a lot to me, and that's what keeps me going.
Well, you know, if you're doing a small film or doing a play, I'm going to go out and look for you. Lily Taylor, folks.
Thank you.
Her film Factotum is going to open a week from this Friday, August 18th.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Fez, I'm telling you right now, if she was a man, we'd be calling her De Niro, because every role she gets, she nails. And I'm not saying that the films are always great. I've seen her in lousy films and fucking nail it. Earl, that was very cool.
And what a sweetheart. She's a really cool person, too.
Let us know a little bit that we got Lily Taylor coming on. Fez is saying the wrong name. I'm fucking babbling like an idiot. You get good. Pretty. Suddenly I find myself talking about Jessica Simpson with her like a fucking idiot in the subway.
I loved her line about the alien, though.
I missed everything. I didn't even fucking hear anything. All the last I heard is it's Lily Taylor. If she would have walked in here, I'd have dove out this window. I'd have been so excited.
But, what a sweet person she is.
You know, doing the Bukowski stuff, too. I mean, you're just playing. I don't know, have you ever read any of those books, Fez?
No.
Fuck, I mean, he's a drunk, but it's like way far into it. Just, I mean, I guess everybody's had that drunk uncle, you know what I mean? That's like, you know, you got to go get him for Thanksgiving or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because he has his own little joint, but it's not fucking easy. I read those books and I'm like, oh, god damn. I feel like I got the shit beat out of me.
in an odd way, you feel so much better about yourself after reading one of them. He's like, my life isn't all that bad.
Oh, no, I feel just the opposite. I feel like one tick away. I feel more fragile when I read anything about that or even madness. If I read anything about craziness, or we had Paulo's wife in here yesterday, I'm sure she didn't start out that way.
Right.
It could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
It's like even you see a guy in a wheelchair, you could be in a wheelchair very, very easily.
I was watching Mrs. Paulo in here yesterday, and she was talking about her pills that she takes.
Yeah.
And I've been on those kind of pills and been crazy on those kind of pills. And I'm just thinking, oh, God. It's 2 or 3 more pills away.
Well, you know what it is? It's like this. I always consider the mind, it's like sheet metal, right? You can twist it around, you can bend it, and it's always going to kind of come back into place.
Right.
But if you break it, if you tear it, that piece never fits back up again. And I think that's the fragile human condition.
Even if you weld it back together, it's still weak there.
Yeah.
It's very, very flimsy.
And it's not the same thing anymore.
No.
I think I just talked crazy to Lily Taylor. That's what got me worried about the crazy talk.
No, not at all. You were fine with Lily Taylor.
I just wanted to bite her on the ankles.
See, now, if you had said that...
Yeah, crazy.
That probably would have put off Miss Lily Taylor.
She's fucking phenomenal, serious.
Yeah, I watched Who Shot Andy Warhol on...
Unbelievable film. Like an idiot, I don't fucking bring that up to her. Call her back and say, oh, yeah, who shot Andy Warhol? What was that stupid film that she was in that she played a really small part, but she did all the songs about the guy named Joe? Joe Lies. John Cusack starred in it.
Say anything.
Yeah. Stupid film. Cameron Crowe, just like a happy thing. She's got this one small part. She just fucking belts the ball out of the park. Just comes in off the fucking bench, rips it, goes back, and those two are, slapping singles the rest of the film. F. It probably sounded crazy though, didn't it? It sounded nuts. He's giving me a phone thing, like, oh, we get somebody on the phone. Ugh, Lily Taylor. She fucking... I thought it was Andy Taylor. At first I was going to ask her how her son is. And, Aunt B. Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
29875.
You know what? I'm going to give you this.
Hoo-ah! Beautiful. Hey, I thought this was the summer of Black Earl. Extreme Sports Black Earl. What happened here? He did nothing like usual.
I know. You know what? I would love to have storylines come to an end on this show. I like to find out whether we're going to get a baby love. I like to see Earl jump out of something. I like to see Dave end a thought. Just really try to finish some of this. What happened to the summer of Earl?
No, I'm up for the summer of Earl.
You can't be up for it. You're going to take over. You're the producer. You're thinking of being the producer of, I wonder what Ron's going to bring in for me. And I brought that up with Dave, too. I don't want him writing down what I want. I want him to be a little creative. Jason, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Mahabo, my brothers.
Yeah.
Fezzy, you need to read some Bukowski books. You got to start with the old stuff. Post Office, South to No North, the most beautiful woman in town. Great stuff. You really get into it. He's also a very world-renowned poet, in addition to a story
Fez
writer.
is not big on the rating thing, and that, I think, these books are going to depress him. They're depressing books.
So even if I tried the reading, stay away from these, it's... Well,
you're not going to read anyway, are you?
I mean, I would try to read one of these. It sounds
go
cool.
ahead and do it. Here's Jill. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
I've got the name of that movie Lily Taylor was in. Where
What's
she was
that?
singing about Joe. It's Say Anything with John
Right,
Cusack.
thank you, honey.
There you go.
Bye-bye. Over and over and over with this team. One says it, then they put up the fucking call to say it. Take a break, Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez. XM 202.
show. Earl, tomorrow will you have that audio of us talking with Gail L?
Yes, we have that. We have an edited version of it ready because it was just
right. We'll have that tomorrow.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Oliver Stone's 9/11 movie. Does that go nationwide this weekend?
Nationwide today, I believe.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
I know we could have seen it last weekend. Did you see it, Fez?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see it. Earl, not one of us from the show saw it. No, did you not see it for the You're Not Ready to See a 9/11 movie? Or
That's exactly why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and watch that on the screen. I think it would just be too much to watch.
What about you, Earl?
I'm not ready for it. I can't handle it. I mean, because just watching two guys trapped in rubble, I don't know if I could deal with it. And just reliving that day is hard enough.
Ever going to be able to pull it off, or is this a matter of being too soon right now?
I need a little.
In 5 years, would you like to watch these films?
I would need a little bit more time, like 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah.
I don't think I would ever want to watch one.
Yeah.
I don't think I could ever sit there and watch World Trade Center, United 93, any of those.
Only because of you. It's not like, are you offended that people make them, or?
No, I'm not offended by it. I mean, if people want to go see that and make a movie out of it, I can understand it. But it's just not for me. I'm just not going to be able to sit there and watch that comfortably.
Because you were in New York that day.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, some people are going, oh, there's not enough time, but... maybe if you were in D-Day, you couldn't see Private Ryan now. Maybe 50 years, if you were actually one of the guys doing it, and you don't want to bring back certain memories, no amount of time is going to change, and has nothing to do with the film. My only thing, and I haven't seen the film, so I shouldn't critique it, but the whole happy ending to the 9/11 film, I just don't remember that being the story of the day. And the way I remember it, maybe I'm wrong, but I remember when they got those guys out, at first we thought it was guys that were in the building when they said, oh, we've made a rescue. And then you found out, no, they've rescued some of the rescuers. And I remember people going, not to take any, it's a wonderful thing that those guys got back out. But I remember that news feeling a little depressing at the time because everybody was looking to get people out from the building.
I have seen some interviews like with Nicolas Cage talking about that this does end happily. And I'm like, all right, I understand they got the guys out. It doesn't end happily for everybody, though.
Yeah, but he's saying that his story is not, life doesn't end happily. If you keep playing out every story, eventually, the couple that went driving away at the end of Grease is going to die. That's the way it goes down. But the point is, that day, does that really represent 9/11 to you? And even in the trailer that they're showing on TV now, it's like an event defines a generation, and this was ours. I am not sure if I'm ready to say that one event defined a generation. Maybe it does.
That sounds too early to say that. I don't know if it's too early for a film.
Hopefully it doesn't. When I see what we've done since 9/11, I hope that's not, if anything, it seems like we're further apart rather than more pulled together. All right, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Casper, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
I think it's perfect timing coming out now because people are starting to forget what those guys did to us and what they would want to do us to every day, So I know Fezzy wants to forget because it was really bad and everything, but, people need to remember also what these people want to do to us.
So your point is it's good so we remember terrorism.
Well, not remember exactly what happened, but remember what they want to do to us every day.
Right. So you're saying to remember the fact that there's a terrorist threat. And I'm not sure how big that plays into this film. I think it's really more of a rescue film than anything else. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ.
And by not seeing the film, it doesn't mean that I want to forget 9/11 happened.
It seems like you're trying to forget it happened, Fez.
I understand it happened, and I will never forget it.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you remember the date?
Yes.
What?
It was 9/11, September 11th.
What year?
2001.
All right, you do remember.
Not trying to forget it.
Ron, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Ronnie, hey, Fez, it's John from Staten Island. Regardless of the movie and everything else and how we feel about it now, I just wanted to remind everybody listening that you guys were a big help that week.
Oh, please stop.
Well, you know what?
Where's our movie?
Yeah, our movie is that weird Robin Williams film, which somebody told me they saw that. Robin Williams is the DJ and said they believe he was doing Fez.
Oh, now I got to check out the Night Listener.
He's got all the little fears or whatever, the OCDs. I don't know.
I just want to say I'm from Staten Island. I lost a lot of good people that week, and, you helped me keep my head together by just talking to me, so thank you.
Well, it's way too kind for you to say. We're just on the radio, but that's... thank you very much, my friend, and God bless you. Here's Dan. Dan, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddies?
Hey, buddy.
All this movie's really doing is rekindling fear. We need to stop fearing what happened and just face it.
All right, now, have you seen the film?
No, I haven't.
So how do you know it's rekindling fear?
Well, just bringing up 9/11 again. They're not letting us forget about it and move on.
So you want to be like Fez. You want to forget about 9/11 completely.
I do not want to forget about 9/11 completely.
Well, not forget the people that died, but at least stop fearing the terrorists and fight them.
Do you fear the terrorists, Fez?
Yeah, I fear terrorism.
Earl, what about you?
No, I have no fear of terrorism at all. None at all.
Doesn't even bother you?
I mean,
we'll go after your neighborhood.
I mean, it concerns me.
That's not to let them divide the races.
It concerns me, but I don't let it, rule my life every time I jump on a subway. I'm not really scared about it.
All right, that's interesting. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
How you doing, Ron? I think Fez should see Flight 93. I saw the movie. I thought it wasn't tugging at your heartstrings. It wasn't something that's going to make you cry. It just, it showed the facts that happened. I can't go see this Oliver Stone movie because I don't need anybody to tug at my heartstrings when it comes to 9/11.
Yeah, it does seem like it almost looks like Jerry Bruckheimer has done it. It's got that kind of Pearl Harbor weird kind of cinematography to it.
A lot of slow motion of people running.
Charlie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, what's going on?
Hey, man.
Hey, I think that the only mistake that they make with that movie is that they're calling it World Trade Center. Like you were saying earlier, it's about two guys. It's a story about two guys. And I think we need to be reminded of it. I think we need to see those things. But they're calling it World Trade Center as if that story defines the entire event.
That's a good point. And that happens with titles of films. Very good point, Charlie. The interesting thing is, I don't know how long after 9/11, because I talked about this yesterday. It gets a little foggy. My memory gets a little foggy for like 6 months, where a lot of stuff seemed like they happened on 9/11 or 9/12, but maybe they were 3-4 months later, because I felt the same way. But I remember going to this opportunity to see filmmakers speak, and one of the filmmakers was Oliver Stone. And there was all different people there. For some reason, Christopher Hitchens, the writer, was on the panel. But Oliver Stone said that he would like to make a film about 9/11 and dealing with, he kept calling it the uprising, as if it was, a revolution taking place. And the people in this fucking place wanted to kill him. So when I heard that he was making a 9/11 movie, I never thought that he would be going for the heartstrings deal. I thought he would be told through the eyes of the terrorist. I was very, very surprised to see this is the film that he came out with.
That's been like most of the reviews about this thing, where Oliver Stone finds of heart. You see little headlines like that, like he's going for the facts, not any sort of controversy or conspiracy theory.
I don't know. Platoon to me was a heartbreaking film. I thought, even Born on the 4th of July was went for the heartstrings a little bit, so I wasn't overly surprised about that. But I was surprised to see it on just on a cheesy matter. That one shocked me a little bit.
I saw an interview with the guys that World Trade Center is based on, those two Port Authority cops.
Yeah.
That's their story. And one of those guys brought up the point of, it's better to do this movie now, when asked, is it too soon? when there's still people here that know what happened and can tell the story. That if you wait 15, 20 years, less and less people still around, and the story's going to get told wrong.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, whether who believes that any story is told 100% true. I'm sure people will look at it and act like it's not.
Someone needs to fix these phones so Ron and Fez can do their show. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Every fucking time they get something good going, the motherfucking telephones keep on blowing up. Why won't Wiki fix the telephones? Why won't Wiki? Why won't Wiki? How can you build a pyramid without the callers calling in? How can you give out a big-ass prize to losers like me who have no life? The Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Ron and Fez Show on XM Radio. Ron and Fez Show 202, channel 202. Every fucking time they get something good going.
Did the phones blow up the same way that they used to?
No, it was the computer crashed. So this is a different type of animal.
All right, so what was fixed we think is still fixed.
We think it's still fixed, yes. But the call screen, the screen that allows you to see who's calling and and whatnot.
The computer program that's used to screen the calls and put them up on the monitor went out.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, fine. That's good. Why do you feel like you're in trouble every time you come in here?
I'm not.
All we're looking for is information.
I'm trying to give
you don't have to cover your balls. You're fine. No one's going to kick you.
I know.
All right, so we just blindly take these calls now, right?
You might want to say hello. This is like Ron Fez.
Yes, I know how to take a fucking phone call. I have a phone at home. Had one. My parents had one, so I learned it at age 3.
We would have done that anyway.
Okay.
Ron and Fez Show.
Yeah, I saw the World Trade Center movie, and on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm 50-50.
He's gone back to hitting you from last week. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez Show. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing today?
Yeah.
Hey, this is Tim from Tennessee. I'm calling from Alabama, where America found its voice.
Yeah, America found its voice was 3 great young male singers.
Yeah, there you go. Talking about 9/11 and the fact that this movie's, maybe supposed to help people to remember. I haven't seen the movie, but the point I want to make is I understand terrorism. What I remember about 9/11 was that every car I passed had a flag on it, and all the churches were full, and for a short time, America did come together. And, maybe instead of looking at all the negative stuff, we got to think about, this is something that, as bad as it was, it showed Americans what America's all about, and that's what I prefer to remember when it comes right down.
So what you like to remember is the pep rally that took place later, and not the fact that none of the work got done.
Well, yeah, but and yes, it was a pep rally, and I don't deny that. But it shows that there's a little bit in all of us that when we want to draw from it, we can.
So you're saying that maybe we can drive George W. Bush from office? I love what you're saying, brother.
Well, there's the movie.
I got you. Now I've got that 9/11 spirit. I remember all the churches were filled, and people were waving flags and ringing bells. It was great times. Women would be baking pies for us. We were filling sandbags.
Do you ever once think what 9/11 would have been, say, if Clinton was in the office? Would the country be united like the way we were with Bush in there?
We were united?
Or I'm saying the way he was describing it, the way the country, quote-unquote, coming together.
Did we come together? That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, I think so.
We came together, we did some good, we went to Iraq and...
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. Waving flags, yeah, everyone's going to wave a flag.
Okay.
That's not the fucking impressive part. It's not the pep rallies, whether you're winning the fucking game or not. I don't know whatever happened over there. I know they didn't have a lot of JV pep rallies, so you were very excited for it. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Who's this?
Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey.
Oh, my God, we have no way of dealing. We don't know what to do. It's a reference to another satellite company. Oh, you people are outrageously good. Outrageously good. You've stopped us in our tracks. It's cutting-edge comedy material. Where I thought we would be talking about 9/11, but you threw out the nickname of a producer for another show. Where's the dump button? How do I dump out of this and save myself?
I think we were too late to hit the dump button there.
Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Hi, buddy boy.
Hey, just reading the article here. It says September 11th, 30% of Americans don't remember what year it was. 2001, you know?
Fezzy pulled that one off.
Pulled that out, 2001, and I knew it. I didn't have to look it up or anything.
That's crazy. Yeah, this just came out. I just saw a thing on Yahoo News saying that they polled a bunch of people and 30% weren't aware where it was.
Do you think that we could easily say to ourselves that 30% of the people are dumb? Because I know a lot of people who said that Saddam Hussein was behind 9/11, even after being told that he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, I would bet that still has 35%.
Yeah.
Of people who think that. I totally believe that.
We'll just take it as 35% of the people are as dumb as dirt.
I think you can go higher than that. I bet you most people could not name all the presidents, like going back to 1960. Most people could not do that. And, in fact, I would say 60% of Americans could not name every president going back to 1960. And if you can't do that, in my opinion, you're stupid. And you don't know history of your country.
Do it quick. Go.
Bush.
Bush. Oh, you're going backwards.
I'm going backwards.
Okay, go.
Bush, Clinton, Bush.
Faster.
Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon, Johnson, JFK. Before that was Eisenhower. And then Truman. And then FDR.
Keep going.
And then Herbert Hoover. And then Woodrow Wilson?
I don't know who was it there.
I think it was either Coolidge or Harding.
You took it all the way down to
Hoover.
That was pretty damn good.
But what I'm saying is 60% of Americans could not do that whatsoever.
You feel like you're above 60%.
I did a poll myself one time outside of a bar, remember, and I asked people, could they name the year JFK was assassinated? And my calculations were like 70% of New Yorkers could not get the year JFK was assassinated. That's offensive.
Robbie, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, where's all the money from all these movies going, man? Is it all the money's just going to all these movie producers and stuff?
Yeah, that's what happens in this country.
Well, I should give some money to 9/11 victims or something.
You think every film that does that, the Pearl Harbor people should have given something, and when you make a movie about AIDS?
Talladega Nights, that money should have gone to Earnhardt's widow.
Why not?
Well, it's closer, that was, the 40s or whatever, Pearl Harbor, but I'm saying, this was just a few years ago, man. They should give some money back.
Yeah, thanks for coming up with the whole different way of looking at things. That call comes out no matter what you're talking about. Where's the money going to? Where's the money from that Janis Joplin film going? It ought to go to Janis. So she can get live again. Hey, Frankie. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Hey, did Dave actually just back something up?
Yeah, he did.
I just think the film is really exploiting the tragedy that happened, and it just shows you how uncreative Hollywood is nowadays.
Well, at the same time, Frankie, there's like 500 books that came out and countless amount of TV shows, and for some reason, it's only when we get to film do we call it exploitive. Was it exploitive that CNN was covering it? I have no problem. I have no problems with films being made.
There's going to be so many TV specials on this thing as they head towards the 5th anniversary. So, and that'll be, and that will be considered news.
But if you don't do it, you're going to get accused too. I don't see it as exploitive to say, we're looking back 5 years later. But that's me. Here's Joe. You're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with this. I mean, because don't forget, Schindler's List was like a happy story. It was about a bunch of people who made it through the Holocaust, just like this movie's about two cops who lived. I mean, yeah, it takes place in a bad time and a bad day, but nobody said anything bad about Schindler's List. So maybe
I did. I did as soon as it came out. I go, why are we making a film about 300 of the 6 million people who didn't die? How is this the story of the Holocaust? And there's a good German, a friendly German for everybody.
Right.
It really had very, very little to do with that story.
Joe here wants the Daniel Powder Had a Bad Day song put on the soundtrack.
Hey, Michael, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron.
It's a good line.
Oliver Stone. This is his first movie that he has not written. He basically lost a lot of his capital when Alexander flopped big time, and so this is really his first true director for hire job of directing another person's script and not putting all his political flourishes that he normally puts.
Well, you know what? I didn't realize that. I had no idea that he wrote every film.
Well, but he's taken over stories before. He took over Natural Born Killers. You know,
that's a very good point. He didn't write Natural Born Killers.
No, I mean, he takes over.
You got me.
He adapts screenplays very well, but a lot of his stories
ask Quentin Tarantino if that's a good adaptation of his work. You're going to hear just the opposite.
Yeah.
So you're wrong about that, Michael.
Well, he did get a screenwriting credit on that movie.
As a screenplay adapter.
Yeah, which is the same thing as a screenwriter. I mean, people come with ideas all the time in Hollywood from studio pitches, and they hire screenwriters to adapt.
Thank you very much. Here's Tommy. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Tommy?
Yep, what's going on, baby?
Tommy?
I can hear you.
Tommy?
I get the reference, Ronnie.
Is it getting annoying? I think it's starting to get a little annoying. I really do. I think like the rest of my act is starting to really grate on people. What can we do for you, Tom?
Not much. You know, I have a girlfriend. She's from Texas, and I'm from New York, and it's really.
I'd like to meet her before I'm going to give your girlfriend credit, but go ahead.
She is pretty hot. I'll bring her to an event.
Sure. Picture of a model.
Close enough. She's from Texas. I'm from New York. And it's just kind of funny how we're all territorial about it. Like, you know, she's sad about 9/11, I am, but I'm like, well, what do you have to be sad about? You're in Texas. I'm in New York. I was here. I was feeling it. I was down here during the hard times. And the thing is, with this new movie, people from around the country are getting upset more so than some people from New York.
She probably felt like you did when you saw the Alamo. And she's like, you don't know what it's like. I was there for the Alamo.
It's still too soon.
Can I get a quick plug-in before I go, guys?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, I sell XM radios at shopwavepcs.com. We give away some free radios and stuff, so check it out.
All right, brother.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Peace out. Let me go to John here. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, what's up, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, I'm from Iowa, and I seen that movie on a bootleg copy, and I tell you what, before that, I could give two shits about New York and the people. But after I seen that, man, it was a good movie, and you know, you feel bad for all them people. I think it was good that they made that movie and made such a decent story out of it and everything.
Okay, so you didn't feel bad about what happened on 9/11 when you saw.
Well, I did, but before that, no, I didn't, because you know, I drive truck and New Yorkers are, you know, they're rude people, and when that happened, you know, yeah, I felt bad. And with this movie, you know, kind of brings it all in perspective, and it, you know, I still feel bad for people who don't know much about it, who don't live, you know, where you guys live. You know, you guys live right there, and for us to see something like that, I thought it was pretty. I mean, it was a pretty good story and everything. So
pretty good story, and then you learned a little something, didn't you?
You're dang right, I did.
And you got Skittles. At the theater.
Well, it's nice talking to you guys.
No, he got a bootleg.
Anymore, so.
Oh.
He was on a bootleg. All right. Maybe John will start and do movie reviews for us from Iowa.
If you're going to get a bootleg, wouldn't it be like the new Pirates of the Caribbean and not a World Trade Center movie?
What difference does it make?
It makes a huge difference. This is a very heartfelt film about a delicate human situation.
So he should pay?
There's going to be little numbers on the bottom and people hawing and hooing. Have some respect and go to the theater to support WTC and Oliver Stone. Okay, bootleg.
So you're going to the theater to support
Yes.
the World Trade Center.
You're going to
You see this as fucking supporting the World Trade
Yeah,
Center.
I do. I know that he's shown the screenplay to...
Where were you earlier when we were talking about this? When everybody said, no, I can't see
trying
it.
to fix the...
Now you're saying you see as supporting those buildings that are gone.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think anything that you see that brings you, that gives you more knowledge about the World Trade
Why don't
Center.
you go down and buy some of the Chinese people's T-shirts? Really be supporting. Or you get a little hat.
No, but there is a WTC coin collection that...
and you feel good about that?
I'm probably going to buy that.
You are as Jersey can get. I don't care how long you live in Queens. You'll always be from fucking Jersey. And I'll make this bet: you'll never live in Manhattan. You will never live in Manhattan. It won't happen.
I'm gonna be in the upper 80s pretty damn soon.
I don't
pretty soon, and we're gonna have lunch together sometimes.
Why don't you come out with me and Earl one day?
If I was invited, but every time I turn my back, you guys are at a different Chinese restaurant or Italian joint. How about a cell phone call, Earl? I stuck up for you.
Hey, Armand, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
Yeah.
New listener, loving the show.
Thanks, buddy.
Basically, as far as I'm concerned, if anybody made a dime off of this thing, then it was it's a tragedy that they even made it.
So
You know
even
what
the
I'm saying?
firemen shouldn't be paid for what they did that day. Cops.
The Port Authority guys this is based on.
Rebuilding the towers. None of that should be done.
Absolutely. If 100% of the profits and the proceeds are going to charity, I'm talking even the people that were down there. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? If all the profits were going to charity, then I'm all for it. But past that, I don't think so.
Where are you calling from? Communist Russia? Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Cleveland.
Now, would you consider yourself a Democrat or Republican?
I would have to say an independent because there are so many different things on both sides of the form that I can't really.
You don't
say,
like
you know
anybody bringing home a paycheck, though. That's your one thing, is that you don't think anybody should ever make money.
I don't think anybody should cash in on a fucking national tragedy.
But every day there's tragedy. If you're watching a cop story, it's a tragedy. If it's a true life thing, normally Americans are love the tragic event followed by the heroes who did something.
Apollo 13 should have never been made.
Making money off those astronauts.
Neither should have Perfect Storm. That was a big-time tragedy.
There you go. Very good. Now, if you happen to be one of the families, would you want to see that film? But that film made, $200 million. Everybody loved it.
Huge hit.
Yeah. Gigantic hit. George Clooney, the best. Clooney. America's favorite actor.
Everyone loves Clooney. I can't understand.
Steve, you're on Ron and Fez. How are you?
Hey, Ronnie. I lost my brother that day. He was a fireman. And I don't have a problem with them making the movie. It's just I'm not going to watch it because I'm not comfortable with it.
Right.
But I'm wondering if you think he took the easy way out making it about the Port Authority cops because there's few of them and less controversy than making it about firemen.
I think because he had the chance to have that happy ending.
Yeah.
I think that's what he was looking for. And I don't know whether it was him or the studio, but the point to focus on those two guys is so everybody could go to that and then somehow leave that tragedy feeling good and up and able to, put that flag up like that guy in Alabama, that they feel like if somehow you've got a flag waving in the air, you don't have to think anymore. You could just feel good.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, Steve. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
Bye.
Because that's the story the studio bought. Those two guys.
It's the story that they would thought would be the easiest to market, the easiest to get people to show up to. Dave is going to be... When are you going to go see this film, Dave?
I'll probably wait till Friday or Saturday.
All right, so you'll give us a review next week?
Yes, I will.
All right, Monday I can look forward...
Absolutely.
...to Dave's movie reviews.
Maybe I'll see it tonight.
What I tell you before, Fez, about everybody on the show needs some kind of storyline ending where it's not a maybe or perhaps.
I'll give you a review on Monday.
Or...
No. Here he comes. Here comes Ronnie at ya. And Dave is down. David is down.
Oh.
All you have to do is answer a question.
But not like a wise ass. Not like a wise ass. You know what? Now I feel like I might have hurt you on that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't slap.
No, but you fucking hit me like I thought you were thugging.
Well, whatever.
But that's a 4x4.
2x4. It's not a 4x4.
No one would carry that to the ring. That would look ridiculous.
Too wide. All right, that's it for us. It's like hitting them with a cedar post. We're back here tomorrow right after overnight. Take care, everybody.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Ron and Fez, XM 202.